I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the heat. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Can't be a real, might get you canceled. The whole system need to dismantle. Coppers treated like the utmost wanted. Trying to rule the block, but don't know what goes on. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my burn. 95 degrees and I can't get sunburn. Wonder when your government will make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my please, Brad, I earn that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the trying to gentrify the genre. Tell them free my middle finger to your honor. In the days coming down the seconds on the timer. Goofy still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my heavy. But ain't sweet, think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out.
Grand Rising, everyone. It is a war for real, and there's a war going on. But it's not necessarily our war. It's white on white crime 3.0. Okay? So don't concern yourself with that. We're protected, but watch what's going on. How are you doing this rising, Empress Ola G?
Sir Lance, Grand Rising, everyone. I'm doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day. It's snowy, it's rainy, but it's a beautiful day. Why is it a beautiful day? Because I'm in it, and I'm grateful that I'm in it. you
There
know.
you go. There you go. Now the
And my
circumstance,
mommy is still here. Praise all things creative and creator. She's
indeed,
still here. She's still here.
it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yes.
The weather conditions are quite the opposite to what's over there, but it's
Yeah.
still a beautiful
I
day over
know.
here.
I know.
I'm not saying that in a teasing way. I'm just saying that in a glad
Yes,
to be
you
here way.
are. Yes, you are.
Look back and look at all of the obstacles that have been thrown in my path, and I'm still here, still strong. Looking forward to another beautiful year. Have plans in place that are always that are actually being manifested. So
Yeah.
I feel like I can fly because I am flying.
You
You know,
are
when you do
flying.
so
It's a
much
beautiful thing.
and your naysayers try so hard, but they can't stop you, and you say, "Man, this is a war."
Mm,
But guess what? I
yeah.
won the war because I'm still here and didn't miss a beat.
You know, there's that phrase, when there's a situation happening and you feel like I gotta go in and I gotta do, and people always tell you you can win the battle and lose the war, you know,
Exactly.
and so you want to just let the battle, happen around you, but at the end of the day, you want to be the victor in the war, so
Of course, of
that's
course,
where you're
of
at
course.
right now, the victor.
I just want to give a big shout out to Mrs. Scurv, who sometimes I
Yes.
think she has bigger balls than me. She's true warrior.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes,
Ain't nobody
yes,
gonna mess with
yes.
her.
Listen, don't get red.
Exactly, like a cheap novel.
Don't get red. READ. And you may turn RED if she reads you properly. So
Good
um
play with words.
yeah. She's got a fire pit right up in her soul right
Yeah,
there, man.
yeah.
Yes indeed. Yes indeed.
Fight when you fight and you know you're right.
Yeah.
All you can do is
Yeah.
just go somewhere and sit down under a tree when you're wrong. You just gotta just shoot.
Stop it.
Uh,
Stop it.
oh God,
Stop it. Stop
uh,
it. You are stop it.
like a deflated balloon.
You are not right. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my God. Behave yourself. Anyways, but yes, yes, indeed. Yes, 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 yes. All the praises to her. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Um, Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising, all our family members up in here. Good to see you all. Should I do a shout out? I guess I could, right? Because we really
Yeah, go ahead,
haven't.
go ahead.
Okay.
And today's
Um,
show's not gonna be so long, but
I
we're gonna
know.
get it in. We did
All
yesterday
right.
because we gotta run back out again. I came
Okay.
and took a nap to make my initial runs. I gotta make,
hmm
So
hmm
we're gonna make up for it because there's gonna be a lot of content put out the same way. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I know.
Monday to
It's all
Friday, it's
good.
a wrap.
Monday
You
through Friday. Monday through Friday. We may have to play around with the times a little bit, but ultimately, hopefully, we'll be here in some
Yeah,
capacity. You
yes,
know.
yes.
I don't know. Are we gonna have to change it from the Rising Show to the show?
Right. The stuff in the corner of your eye show late in the early afternoon.
I know the
For sure.
rising midday sun
Switching the time, yeah, like 3 card monitor, right?
whatever time it happens
What
show.
time is it today? So they have 10 to 11:30 a.m., but wait a
I,
second.
I,
It's late at night.
hey, I
When the
know it.
earliest time, take the
Yeah,
time. Just put it out the day before.
I know. Whatever, wherever it hits, that's where it hits.
I'll explain it as much as I can to people.
Yeah,
I always say the word, we got projects going on, but pretty much between the lines, you don't know what that is.
yeah.
And there's a lot of little detailed stuff going on now and a lot of things still going on, but the
hmm
icing is being put on the cake. And there's a lot of, you're dealing with other entities that are aiding you in your vision. If
hmm
they say they're going to be there at a certain time, or you're going to have to stay a little longer, or you got to go get more material, or you got to get more money.
Right, right, right,
So
right.
now,
Unavoidable things. Unavoidable things.
especially when, just taking that transition, Mrs.
Yeah,
Scurry's father, and throw
yeah,
that in
yeah.
there. And all. So it's a lot of little things fluctuating, but the
hmm
shows will still be going on. So bear with us if
Yeah,
there's any fluctuation in time. Then you
right.
have power
And
outages.
then the
Then you have,
time difference is the greatest because, technically, if we were on the same time zone, we could work around things. You know what I mean?
exactly,
But
exactly.
this 5 hour difference. Well, it's gonna be four soon, and somehow 4 hour difference makes that hour, man. That hour does something.
So it does. It does. And it's
Does
coming up
something.
on that. And to be
Yeah.
table and set a certain way,
Yeah,
while
yeah,
whatever. So,
yeah.
it's unfortunate that Monday through Friday we do this show, and that's the crunch time for me now, more so to step up and do certain things. So,
Right.
it'll be done. It'll be done. Just every day for me on this side, creating everything, it's got to be done for the night before. And as it's executed, I might have to be across town, but doing this on the phone and hitting the mute every now and then. So I got to work it. I got to get more into the program and work it a certain way, but it is going to go on, and multiple things will go on as I move through my path. But that's neither here nor there. Then we're coming up on the rainy.
Been said,
that's going to make it a little even more tougher. The rainy season's coming,
I know.
Rainy season, when it rains. It doesn't last long.
Right, but it comes heavy.
For an hour and then it stops. It's not frightening because it's not like Central Florida with all the lightning. Lightning does drop down here now, but it's not the same. But it does come down. The winds are what really kills. Like if you look across and the winds that come before the storm, and where we are now in this particular apartment, it comes off the mountains, and it's like a kid coming down on a slide in the park. You get the momentum.
Yeah.
And you say, what the hell? And whatever's not down, it's just blowing around.
But
it's Africa, man. It's like, you can't.
Well, that's why now you see why they build concrete homes.
Exactly.
And now we see why they build a quote unquote mud huts, because they are stronger than any wood frame that you could put up here in America. So I mean,
that type of construction would not survive. I'm not putting it because Africa, he talking down to everybody. I always knew that.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't. Okay, it's like this. You look at American construction, and down in Florida they will have block construction because of the hurricanes, and sometimes the floor is that chipboard behind siding. And then sometimes you go all the way up with the concrete, but the roof over there, and see they're funny over there because they try to get by with little. Like, say, for example, when they build apartments, like in Orlando, from what I've seen, living there all those years, right? They'll build an apartment building with wood. And I'm like, why would you do that? And you're in the middle of a place where they have hurricanes all the time. Even if a year goes by and it was like one light tropical storm, it's a threat all the time. You're right there in the danger zone.
Right.
And when he explained to me, he says, listen, they don't want to spend all of that money at one time. They'd rather take a gamble because they have insurance. It's for them material-wise up front to build it cheap and gamble that it's going to stay up. Isn't that some shit? And, and depend on insurance, because how many times has a tornado or a hurricane come and really ripped up every place? Where they say, build it cheap. It's like, okay, you're going to have a cookout for a bunch of drunks. Get the paper plates. We're not going to get the real plate because they drunk. They're going to drop it. So if they drop this, it doesn't matter. So the thing is, put the cheap stuff out there.
Because the money they're going to give you in insurance is going to be way less. You'll never get back the money that you need to rebuild the house.
Right. So people building real homes, like in certain affluent areas where they have money. And they say, you know what? We ain't trying to deal with no insurance. We're going to spend the money up front.
Exactly.
And the Mexican tile ceiling. I mean,
love it.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And just everything go up brick wise, fill in and put the iron bars between the holes and fill in the cinder blocks with concrete. Double it up. This ain't going nowhere. Right.
Rebar that shit all the way up to the roof.
Exactly. Out there with the wood construction.
I'm sorry, I cursed.
The walls are thin. I couldn't go back to living in. I'm not putting anything down. All I'm saying is that I'm just being honest, because coming out here, even in this apartment, everything's concrete. The interior walls are concrete. This is soundproof. The only thing you hear is through the windows when they close a vibration, if you want. But when you sleep and you close everything in, you ain't hearing nothing.
Wow, isn't that something?
It's just that now, if you build something out of concrete, know where you want your windows, because you're gonna have to live with it. Make another one. I'm gonna put it with a wood construction. It's like, okay, let's get a little saw, cut out a hole, whatever. Concrete is like, it's permanent, so you know how you want things placed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's far superior, and when you lay it out the way you want to lay it out, that's the other thing that I like about out here. They make you pay for certain amenities. Like, say for example, if you wanted this amenity of a catwalk, or you wanted to swirl around the stairwell this way, whatever you want, you can do, as long as it's structurally sound as far as what the architect has to see according to the code. Anywhere, but you have to, like, say for example, I went in New York or Orlando and I bought my own land and I said, I want to do it this way. Oh, you can do anything you want, but you're gonna pay. You're gonna, not because the city or the different commissions want money because you did it fancy, but the contractor is gonna say, oh, you little Negro, you want it like this, you want it like this, you want to have it like this. Oh, you're gonna pay me. You see what I mean? Because your taste is so far above, or you're different, and that's why in the cookie cutter houses, it is. You just choose out of one of these 5 models, and that's what it is. And you're gonna be a house that's laid out. I don't want nothing that somebody else has.
I don't want it either.
I'm not thinking about who we think he is. Look, I'm an artist. I'm creative. I see things I like, and I put it together the way I like. That has always been me. So it's not about putting my nose up over. I can live anywhere. I can live in a cookie cutter house. I have, and there's no problem. But having a shot at this junction point in my life to be able to do and have it come out from the inside, I want this way. I want that way. And I have amenities that I'd have to pay. Or you build something that somebody would say, man, if this was here, it would be 2.5 million. But it's
not.
Exactly. Less than the price of a house in the daggone hood.
Listen.
And it ain't hood, and it's so why not? Once in you want, and then make it creatively.
Exactly.
I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't have no luxury car. Matter of fact, I don't have any car. I'm not hurting for that. But if I take my time and let me just use 6 months worth of money to do the ceiling a certain way, the way I want. But then in America, like, yo, man, that looked like some 5-star hotel situation. But it's creativity.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I like. They don't give a damn, except that there's not as much as far as the common man. And I'll say, and I have to say this with surgical precision, not everybody out here has creativity as far as like a consumer. A lot of consumers say, I want it this way, I want it that way, I want it this way. And they're not thinking, like, they'll put one light up in the middle of the ceiling, a door here, there, and some things don't make sense. But the people who have the money or the creativity, they do some things out here.
Right.
See?
And sometimes it's just having access to information too, you know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you going there, and yes, you have certain things in your mind how you want things, but also you've had access to seeing different structures, different ways of doing things, and you can say, okay, I like that, I don't like that, I would do this, I would do that. Some people, all they have is just, you know, basic understanding of how a home should be, you know, put a light here, put a light there, you know, put some windows, and that's it.
Growing up, my father had clients that were architects.
Right.
I went in for that and did apprentice work under Paul Friedberg and Associates. And
exactly. Exposure.
Built every structure for the Olympics that were in China. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, but he's a prick though. I thought he was a friend of my father. You know what I mean? But after my father passed away, he showed his ass. Architects in the world, Jew. And he's the one that had that conversation with me. First of all, you're black. And you're glad that you're working under me, and so on. So I was gone the next day. You know what I mean?
Not the same day.
Well, I mean, they didn't see me coming the next day. Because as much as they see potential in you, when you have confidence in what you do, I mean,
they get jealous. They get scared. Especially if you showed him something, you know, like you did a sketch or whatever, and you showed it to him, and he's looking at it and he's like, shit, this kid don't even have my education, quote unquote, education or experience. You know, why is he showing me something that I wouldn't even have created in my own mind?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Scared.
What it is that, you know, he was the top. It's like a law firm.
Yeah.
And you have well, with architecture and architects, if it's a big enough situation, you have really good architects under you.
Yeah.
And you get credit for the work, just like a lawyer who works under the firm and a chief, the biggest person, they get the credit. And then they leave their own thing. So I remember there's one guy, he was a really great architect, and I know that, and I think I've Googled him a couple of times, and he branched out on his own. He's really big. Kyriakos Pluriclides is his name, and he's Greek. Right?
I was gonna say
Kyriakos Pluriclides or whatever. Yeah. Me and him used to goof all the time, and I used to work next to him, and with about 5 other ones who were like on the way coming. There was another one named Emmanuel, a black man, Haitian man, young guy, right? And so their thing with me was, because with me, it was like, I want to see if this is what I really want to do. And because of my father's proximity to him over the years, it was like, well, listen, have him come in, we'll pay him well, and he'll do different things to help out. Like me doing this website. Okay, there's repetitious things I have to do. But it would be better if I didn't have to do them and I could free myself up to create. So I was the one who was brought in to do, not taking out garbage and getting coffee, but because I was artistic, and I am, it was like I caught on quick, and I was doing like a lot of the models that you put in a mall window when it's being built or someplace. This is what this is going to look like, so and so and so and so.
Right.
But it had scale, right? Because they would do the presentations, or I would do little things with some of these architects, and I caught on quick.
Right.
And we saw that, and it was like, man, you're going to get to where I am, because my plan was to go to City College. They had a good architecture program there, and I was there for almost a year, and I was getting into it and whatever. But there's another side of me that was like, this is too rigid, drafting out the plans. I can see that, you know what I mean? So I'd rather now, when everything is settled, get into design and layout. Let the architect go and
do the scale work.
But on a cosmetic level, you sit down with me, you tell me the elements of a home that you like and different things that you like, and we'll create a reality that it flows with you.
Right.
Me, I love catwalks. I love 2-story ceilings, big. And other parts can be a certain way. I don't like in the front of the house where you walk down. I like them in the back.
I like them in the back too, or side. The sides. If you have 2 sides, they come. The stairs can come down on both sides, but nobody sees it.
Okay.
Shut up.
You forgot who I am?
No, did you notice that I was trying to get past that real quick?
Yeah. I know that. You thought you got away.
Well, you said you love catwalk. I was like, really? Behave. Come on.
Yeah, so, they see these things in you when you're young, because remember, when I did that, I had just stopped bodybuilding. I walked away from it.
Right.
I was 22 years old, and I said, I'm not doing this no more. That's the way I am. I'll walk away from something in a heartbeat. And that was young, after putting much of my life, into it from 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not doing this no more. And I didn't. But I just come out the competition and still play around at home a little bit, but I stopped. So I had that look, and some of them that didn't know me, because a lot of them remember me from my father coming around to do the work and whatnot. It's like, yeah, I remember you. You were the little guy. Whatever. Oh my God, look at your muscles, whatever. But they didn't come at me like, oh, you a big buck. They were cool with me. We were joking and working and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the work. But when he came at me that way, and I noticed certain tensions, he was trying to dog me out. Like, this is what he would do. Each architect had an aspect of a project that they were doing. Like, this person would do the plans here, and this person, and they all had their things, their leanings, what they kind of specialized in. But everybody knew what to do for everybody. Everybody knew everything. But since you're good with this, like, together, and we're on this chat room. We have a really big house, and everybody in the chat room is living in the same house. The person who cooks the best, what you think, they're going to be out there washing clothes? No. And if you don't have any talent at all, well, you're going to have to do some manual stuff or whatever. Be in charge of paying the bills if you're really good with that type of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how it works. But they all knew each other's thing. Right. As I got into each person, they got to like me. They got to teach me things. All of a sudden, Paul Friedberg, he's like, "Oh, Lance, this week we really have to paint that storage room. I need you to do that." Okay, I ain't got no problem with it because I'm right there. and I understand that I'm the low man on the totem pole. And now you would. I remember this room, and it was like 2 stories high. I'm like, it was narrow, little, not a closet, but it was like maybe 25 feet deep and 15 feet wide. It had no windows, no ventilation. And it was all these boxes in there. And it was a little thin light bulb, little weak light bulb in there. And I'm supposed to step over this stuff and paint with this cheap paint. He made that up to break my spirit.
Exactly. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, yeah. And you have to get this done. You're not moving fast enough. And and just other little things. There was a woman there.
I could just see you.
Yeah.
I could see you now. Just like...
I was 22 years old. I'm older now. But I really look youthful. I mean, I saw my old passport when I was 35 years old. I'm like, man, I look like I was 20. So back then, it was like, the body and the face and the enthusiasm. I'm the same person. Telling jokes, always having fun, always engaging, whatever, always respectful. You know what I mean? There was a girl, that woman that worked on the job there. That is another story. We'll talk about that another time.
Which cold closet did y'all wind up in?
I know, right? She pushed up on me. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. And what did you do? You pushed back. Hey.
I stood my ground.
I'm sure you did.
But
anyways, yes.
So it was that and other things. But there was a woman named Stephanie, and it was a white woman, and I had to go out in the field with her at another point. She was going out to Flushing Meadow Park. I don't know what they were going to build something there, or something was happening there, tennis or whatever have you. But they, whenever they would go out, it was something big. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just this low firm. So I had to measure with her and just not exactly, but give approximations. And
was it in the fall?
I don't know. This had to be more like the summer, from what I could remember, the way I was dressed and everything like that. And she was continuously shocked. Like, I could tell. It wasn't like, oh, you dumb little muscular nigger. She was cordial to me up front, and I was cordial to her. But we came from 2 different worlds.
Right.
But it wasn't like I'm some little ghetto kid and I'm getting this big break or whatever. She was surprised that in the conversational level, we spoke about current events and different things. And she's, when white folks say, oh, okay. Like, wow. So you're saying, like, if this was some white man, little white 22-year-old, you'd expect this with your prejudiced mind, because a lot of them are idiots anyway. But because now we had really deep conversations and I made her think beyond her circle,
right,
on an intelligent level, I could tell she couldn't handle it, because she came back after about a week and she told, homeboy that she didn't want to work with me no more.
What?
Yeah. I did not ever disrespect that woman.
You made her feel stupid. She realized that at some point, her conversation was going to become repetitive. She couldn't match you.
But I didn't even go to college yet. You know what I mean? Like I planned, and the things that I desire.
I don't know what it is about college that people think they have to go to college.
No, I know what you mean by that. What I'm saying is that
I'm sending you a message.
And I knew a lot about. Huh? Say it again.
No, keep talking.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't so much that, in that thing you have to go. I mean, you have to have a degree to do that kind of work. You just can't be a talented guy and wing it. So that's but I didn't go to it, but I knew so much, and I picked up so much, and I got into it with her, like in a good way, where okay, she's planning this, whatever. So, and I would ask her, what about this aspect? What about this? What about that? And what about the soil? Was a soil check to be able to handle the structures? Like, oh shit, this guy's thinking like that. I mean, like you just knew you're supposed to be like walking around wide-eyed and bushy-tailed
and dumb as a rock,
right.
And you just everything they say, you're like, okay, yes,
right.
okay,
I didn't know everything, and I wasn't trying to act like I knew everything. But remember, doing the bodybuilding and stuff, I had a confidence in my physicality, and it was intimidating to them in a certain way, but I never pushed myself. I always kept myself covered.
Did you have your sleeves rolled up just above the elbow?
Nah, never. No. That's the thing. You see, because people could tell anyway, like back in those days. Like they ride the subway, you see staring at you or whatnot, or admiring you or something like that, or lusting at you, whatever. And you when you take it to that level, you know, like, okay, I know what it is. It's like a woman with well-developed breasts and it's up front and everything. Okay, the guys really don't get the eye contact. You see people staring or whatever. Standing on the subway, he's got a big bulge and women are pretending that they read the newspaper and they're glancing over there every now and then.
Right.
That's the way it is. So you get used to that. And so my thing was minimizing that because I wanted people to see me for me instead of like, this guy's a musclehead back then.
Right, right.
Even though I wasn't heavy and huge and 300 pounds, but you could see like, dang, this guy is real built. So that was beyond me. And that usually came into play when I dealt with men, especially white men who had their businesses or had control. And I'm confident physically, but it wasn't something I depended on. Like if I had the mentality of somebody, well, I just did 20 years in the pen and I'm walking around and that's all I have is to walk around and show you this. But it was intimidating because they thought that was my best feature, but I minimized it. And we're dealing on an intelligent level. So it's like, damn, on a man level, regardless as to your status you have, on a man level, on a basic man level, they couldn't handle it.
Or maybe she was so caught up she had to ask not to work with you. Because
who knows?
She might lose her sanity and jump your bones, and Yeah,
but that wouldn't happen. The way I am now,
she had to behave herself.
It was. I'm a chameleon that way. So I wasn't never cheesing for them either. I knew the man up top, and I thought he was like, I'm not going to say he was like family to me, very familiar.
Right.
Remember, actually, another footnote in my life, he was the one who helped to get me into North Country School Camp Treetops in 74.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Yes.
When we were on, we were looking at the Joker last year on the internet. I sent you a link. His son Mark was the creative design, something on that movie.
I remember.
Yeah, I know him real good. We were up in the camp spending time together. My father goes to do the work and maintaining landmark properties. I go over there. Oh, you going by the Freeburgs? I'm gonna go over there, and we leave. We hang out. You understand? So,
and that's something.
Yeah, very intense. But they're in different worlds right now. The other one, I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something big. But they're both in show business. They're both in movies and stuff. Not as actors, but as people on the creative level. And that's when they did the interview behind the scenes of Batman and the Joker. When they the movie The Joker, that I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a second, I know him.
I know that guy.
Like at this age right now, like as a kid and you see how well I can kind of tell the way his face is puffy. He might be an alcoholic or whatever. He had a rough life or he's doing well or whatever. So it's just like the other one, the photographer, the architect, the one that said, when I was real young, she's younger than me. And do you have a lover? Remember that story? Yeah. So because of their white privilege, they're in a world that it's given to them. Like,
do you have a lover? That's so white.
I know. But she was a kid.
Oh my God.
Not a kid like that. So mixing and mingling in these different worlds, I understand it. I understand how they think.
Right.
And me being who I am, whatever it may mean, maybe I'm unrealized potential. I'm not saying I should have been this and I should have been that, but you can't shake my confidence because I've been around so many different worlds and understand it, and when you go through those things and you have something good and those worlds continually shut you down subtly. They see as an oak tree. Yeah. But the tree wasn't always an oak tree. It was something you could step on and crush at one time. And a lot of them try to do that to my spirit.
Yes.
So this is why I choose to. There are a lot of things I can pursue even at this age that some people say, man, you too old. No, there's some things in channels I don't want to. And I'm not bitter. A lot of folks that come to Africa, man, I'm mad because you ain't make it out there and you felt, no, I'm just tired of that merry-go-round. I trust in myself, my own work ethic. I can start different things on my own. And once I'm set and finished with the things that I'm doing now, I will. And it'll be very accelerated. I'm not rushing, but there'll be nothing else to do except go up. What am I going to do? Start smoking crack? What am I going to do? Start turn into an alcoholic?
Right.
What am I going to do? Run around with these rounded booty chicks, and some of them, not all of them. I'm not saying all the sisters got AIDS now. I'm just saying it's out there. And it's easy to get these girls, okay? Not that they're tramps. I'm just saying it's a different culture, different thing. So I come off a different way.
Right.
And they probably think I have a lot of money anyway, too, right? Some of them.
Some of them.
A lot of these guys go to these, they come out here, and the reason why they love it so much, they don't tell you. A lot of these guys that do YouTube videos and yes, and I love it in the atmosphere, in the air, in the sun. No, I'm going to say it the lewd way. It's all this ass running around here that you don't have to work hard to get.
True.
You go way out in the villages and whatnot. You build a little something, and these women are not complicated. And you run your little city slicker tricks and whatever, and they're looking at you like Superman because you come from the place that a lot of want to go to, because when they see it through the smartphone or the computer or whatever, wow, America, and you're American, and you come here. That's what it is.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Because, I mean, you basically are cheapening, women once again. What? Rome?
What he said there, yeah. So, for real.
Do we understand? Oh gosh, mangoholic.
No, I already am a mangoholic.
You should have put a peach over there.
Yeah, so for me, it's like I don't want to fight through that system because I already have it inside of me. And all I want in my remaining years is to have myself to myself.
Right.
Without the obstacles of having to, it's too many obstacles. Yes, I can defeat them and I can win. And I don't want to spend that kind of time. I've tried many things, and it's not that they fail, but I see what it is. Oh yeah, you're going to get higher up in this. You're going to have to deal with this. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to be peaceful.
Right.
And if I move at half the speed as far as ascension into any endeavor that I crave to do, I'm happy because I'm moving at my pace. I'm not racing anybody. I just want, because all the
comfort,
all the things that I've done, all the startups, and then you realize this and this and that, and I can't do this because there's too much money. Whatever. And it's like, nah, leave me alone. Let me go somewhere where my money stretches a whole lot, and I can be peaceful, monkey off my back.
This is what they do, right? And the smart ones of us follow suit, right? Because what they do is exactly what you and Mrs. Scurv have done. Found a place where your money stretches, right? And you can do more with less, and you're doing it. And your goal and your mission in life right now, and it's going to be my mission. I mean, it is my mission and it is my goal, and I hope I realize it, is to be the same damn way. Whatever I know what my hands can do, and if that can bring me a little extra money in addition to whatever else, I say it all the time. I don't want to think anymore. Okay.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know what I'm saying, right? I don't mean that I don't want to use my brain. I just don't want headache. I want peace. I want quiet. I want to get up when I want to get up. I want to go to bed when I want to go to bed. And I want to live the in-between, I want to live the in-between.
Exactly. That's
you know what I mean?
And it wasn't because, yes, it's Ghana. It could have been Gambia. It could have been wherever I see that I can live this way.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of extensive studies and stuff, and I see where, and it's not about, this or that, or, this happens and that happens. It's how I set myself up to live. It comes from within.
Yeah.
You have yourself all this life, and you thought about at those times when I said, boy, if I can get out of this job, but I can't because I got these responsibilities. And yes, I can do some side hustles, but I need the time. I I gotta be here. And then sometimes your side, and when I say side hustles, I don't mean nothing illegal, right? But I mean things you do that can be bigger, but do you take the leap from the job that's certain, but for not, and it's not really certain. And then you know you can develop this thing more. And then when the things get good in the side thing, you're like, damn, if it was like this all the time, I can leave it. But when it gets lean, it's like, nah, I better stay and keep that job. So you actually losing money.
Yeah.
And so when I say that if you have something that you've cultivated and you find yourself in a position where the job is making you lose money in your own thing, you better really focus on that thing. I'm not saying leave it, but work on it. If you can work on whatever it is you want to work on that you're doing 24/7.
You can't put off living.
Yeah. And it brings you joy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So do it. Get into it. Mm-hmm. You know your work ethic. People are paying you pennies on the dollars to do this thing, and you can't even get enough time, but you're doing well in your other thing. And think, who wants to live frustrated that way? And yes, I've had many decades, y'all. It's not like, well, he's privileged me. I'm 59 years old soon. So it's not like, I did this at 22 and I'm, and you do have them who find themselves at younger ages a certain way.
True.
But I'm really, according to what most people would see or think, my stats, all that I've been through, the wear and tear, I'm not supposed to be here. If I am here, I'm supposed to be a broken shell of a man. And they don't like when you get to a certain age and they know these black people, we know what they go through. They will never admit it when they see you of a certain age. The white man I saw and his woman and his wife at the mall the other day when I was passing through. He was walking up and he looked at me like, well, he's coming toward me. So his eyes were that way anyway. But he was studying long before I saw him, because when I saw him, he was already into the gaze, looking at me. Not homo gaze, I'm saying G-A-E, right? And so I look back at him and he's looking at me like to see what my response, not evil. He wasn't looking at me like, I'm going to challenge this thing, because he knew he was outnumbered. But then again, they know that they're really not, because these Jesus whipped Negroes out here
will go to their aid quick, fast.
Why no, don't do whatever. So I flashed a little fire in my eye. He looked away real quick and looked back and shook his head to say, like, hello, like he's greeting me. I look the same look, and I nodded a little bit like, okay, you know what's up. So my thing is, I don't want to deal with that electricity. I didn't want to deal with that, the psychological battles. And even if it's not a battle, the proximities to this kind of energy where you know you're a quality person, you know that you're a decent person, you know that you're a moral person, not immoral. I said moral, right? Yeah, some people in my life are immoral in the bedroom sometimes, but you know you're this person, and it's like, I don't have to do it. I never did it, but they expect you to have to prove yourself to them. Like, who put them in charge? But then when you speak like this, oh, you're a racist. It's always about color. You built your damn society off of this thing, and you expect me not to say anything? You expect me to fall in place? And so just like the white woman who's giving me these nigger tweets and messages and emails after I told her to stop sending me these conspiracy theory emails. And and you're self-serving. If I was self-serving, I wouldn't even be on YouTube if I was just looking for money. I had enough attention all my life. I get off on sometimes. We can come on the shows and be the life of the party and talk, and this is what we do every day. But if I was left alone, and I love doing this now. But if somebody said, you can't do this for the next year, I'd miss it, but I'd go back into hermit mode, introvert mode. You'd see more drawings. You'd see more writings. I got different gears.
Right.
It was serving for her, just like that politician, the Jewish politician that called me up and wanted to have an interview because she wanted to get more of the black vote before she went into Congress. Whatever it was. She knew how to come to me. Right. They all do, whether they hate me or not. I'm underground, been around a long time, seen people rise up and fall down and rise up and go high. They pass me by in certain statistics, which is no problem because I'm not racing nobody. I'll see you when I get there. Right. You might be in a Lamborghini and speeding to go cross country. And I might be in an old Volkswagen Bug with the bumper being held up by the daggone coat hanger or something, with black smoke.
I remember that.
it's going to take me extra week and a half to get what you get. I have no problem with that. Like me, I make do with what I have. But at this point in my life, don't stop me. I got artwork I have to have come out of my soul. I got articles to write that I have to have come out of my soul. I have little, not lectures, but things I want to talk about and my experiences that I want to maybe it can help.
I'm a lock you. We'll get food to you and lots of food, lots of water. No computer, just your nuance and your all of your art supplies. I mean, you'll be good, but there's no computer. There's no computer, and you're locked in.
Oh my God! You know what would come out of me? If
I
had that
know.
kind of time?
I know. That's what you need.
A big window with a lot of sun coming in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not like you're sequestered away in the dark. It's because I'm just saying this. That brain of yours, there's too much stuff swirling around in it, and you need to be locked away in order to do certain things. Let me stop.
No, I agree when I say myself to myself. And I don't think I'm this guy, like I'm this great. There's too many of them kind of people around.
Yeah.
I just do my part for humanity and our people. Because what I have, it's not mine. I was with it. And it's not for arrogance purposes. And there are people who have been around me who have been arrogant and envious and want to lie and say little things and even try to kill your spirit after getting close to you. I can't have that around me.
Right.
I don't need the attention. I have no attention in my life. I mean, I know how to handle it. It's like an old actor who he was a great actor and they loved the classics, and now he's a hermit. What was it, like Marlon Brando? Didn't he turn into a hermit?
Yeah.
But then certain roles they pulled him out for, and when he came out, it was like, damn, this guy's a good actor. He wasn't for the attention, but if you want, I'll come out and I'll make a little appearance. He was happy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Who says that when Michael Jackson was on this physical plane that he had to do an album every year? When you do things and you get so deep, a couple years go by, you still riding off of what you did in the past because it came from the soul, came from the heart. And you don't need to be rushed as an artist. You got to do as it comes and take your time. So time, the artificial construct, is a very important thing. You see what I mean? So for me to be out here and to set myself to a certain point, take away a lot of overhead that I had, and be here and just ride out like that and produce. I got so many ideas. Oh my God, there's no way. You got to give me like 10 lifetimes to get them all out. So that's where my sense of urgency comes from.
Share your brain with some of us now.
No, sometimes I can't sleep.
Give us the raw material. We'll do the rest.
Oh yeah, the isolation is coming on a healthy level.
Yeah.
Azula. It's just the running around and settling down and settling in and setting it where this is it. And we'll take it from there. And then allowing, just allowing, it'll be effortless once you're set.
Right.
You take away all of those different categories of, I got to get this guy. And it don't take much for me to live. That's the thing. I'm not trying to be macking on nobody. I don't have that kind of money. And I will have that kind of money. And when I do have that kind of money, it ain't going to be where I'm doing that kind of thing. Because it's not about money, but I need to survive while in the system or partially in the system.
Exactly. That's why, when I hear people talk about, I don't need money or money this or money that, it's like, shut the hell up. Stop talking foolishness. Right. I don't mean you, but because no matter which way you slice it, no matter what you do, how you slice it, how you not slice it, we need money. We need some form of currency exchange, whether it's currency of your physical strength, your abilities, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We need something. And since most times we can't barter in this world, you have to have, whether it's digital or fiat or, salt, whatever, gold, silver, platinum, You know, those things, we need to have those things. We need to have some form of exchange, you
Well, see,
know?
my goal
Mm-hmm.
was my goal is like to reduce that.
Mm-hmm.
So not that it's the actual figure. Let's just throw out a figure. Some people saying it takes $5,000 a month for me to maintain. Some is 4,000, some is 3,000, some is 2,000, whatever. If you don't have kids, you rent a little room. You don't have a vehicle in a big city where you can get around cheap. You know what I mean? It's just you. Your overhead is going to be less. You have children. You have an apartment, and then you have a vehicle. Then if you have a house, you got to maintain that and your kids. And so we all fall on different, levels. But
Right.
the thing is to reduce that,
Right.
to get the ultimate of where the
Right.
dwelling you want the way you want. So it was a no-brainer to cash out.
Mm-hmm.
Go where things, I mean, Superman ain't Superman on the planet Krypton.
Exactly.
When he came to a different gravity,
Right.
Earth,
Right.
he had powers now, right? So why stay there and struggle under? And I'm not knocking it like I'm saying, well, you all are there, so you're not like me, and you're not as. No, I'm not saying it that way, because, like again, I say this is not for everybody.
Right.
It may not be for everybody, and of course, would I want to go if I had like young children and I'd still want to go, but there's obstacles with that. You may have an older member who needs the medical care, and you got to really be on them. And it's a lot of things. And you may have a strong inner circle of friends and family, and they don't want to, and okay, I'll stay. I got the support, whatever. But remember, like with me, my parents are not alive on this level. They're alive on another level.
Right.
And my kids have grown. They make their own decisions. And I'm getting to this age, and this is what I wanted to do.
Right.
And giving that way will inspire those in my circle. Whatever my circle may not be, my DNA sharing circle may not be as big as others. So it's easy for me to navigate that way.
Right.
And like I say, it's just a body of water between me and America. I can hop on a plane and be right there. It's no problem.
You can't swim?
No, I can't swim. I haven't, like I said, that racist white man at the summer camp back in '74 made sure to shove me in and make it traumatic for me, and I never went to swim.
Oh, well, see, I can't ride a bike. Oh, I told too much.
I ride a unicycle.
Are you ready?
I'm making up for it.
I'm not gonna say, I could go somewhere else with my comment, but I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
Things I'm quite sure you can ride, right? So anyway,
I'm going to be good. Some things I didn't learn, some things I did.
Some things you were curious to do, you did it. We'll do this again.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
But no, seriously though, I mean, you're right. It's just a body of water, and we're closer. It's closer than we think, right? And it's just that they don't want us to know that it's a hop, skip, and a jump from here to there.
That way. See, this is supposed to be so far away. Yeah, it is far away. If you're going to try to walk and swim across the ocean, I understand that. But if wherever you are, if you never want to travel, like I'm not some person who's known for traveling, so I'm not going to try to come off just because I can't. Yeah, I know people have been on like okay, look at Akbar Muhammad. The last count of how he's traveled to 194 different countries, and most of them. He met the dignitaries, he met the elder statesmen, he met the top people, the presidents in most of those countries. But they will never put that in the newspaper. They don't want to have a black man who's second in command in the nation is Islam, who's respected all over the world. See, they don't want to show that.
Exactly.
And he can rattle off stories, and he's not even saying like he's bragging. He's like, well, back in '74, yes, I met with this particular so-and-so. And '98, we went there and we went to, and he can go anywhere in the world. Why can't we think global, even if we don't want to be global as far as traveling? Put your mind on a global level. Don't see, this is the thing what I don't like. How these schools and just the society in America, and of course, I'm assuming the UK, you all right as long as you think or have boundaries that they put on you mentally. They're all right with you. If they see you coming on a plane to Africa as one who is an American African, stolen African, they're looking at you like, well, what are you doing here?
Exactly.
You as a
Right.
Caucasian man can come and buy property and come on this side of the pond
Yes.
and set up businesses
Yes.
and do good. Well, we're gonna get some cocoa. We're gonna, we're gonna do this thing here and deal. We got a contract with Whole Foods. Well, why can't I do that?
Listen.
When I went to Home Depot,
right?
And I saw the Italian man have a truck right on the property in the parking lot, and all the folks from the Caribbean that were coming there. And I talked to the regional manager, Steve Prudente. At that time, he was a regional manager over all that region. He was the big man, not to me. I'm just saying, because I walked up to him,
right,
and I speak to him for about 3 or 4 minutes,
right.
And I did. And I said, how can I arrange to have something here the same way, but with a different culture type food,
right,
Indian food, American food, nothing in competition with this person. I'm not trying to whatever. And if I wanted to, I could anyway in my heart. But you bring something unique in business, even with the other similarities and stuff. So, he gave me this long spiel, and he didn't really want to, and I tried to follow up, and he would never answer the calls. I was serious about that.
Right.
I was serious about getting a little truck and putting it there and having somebody run it, whatever. They don't want you to think outside of their boundaries.
Nope, they don't want you to thrive.
Exactly. So it's an insult really on a deep level when they find out. Yes. I love on the phone with them in America. Well, Mr. Scurvin, so and so and so and so. Where are you located? I love it.
Africa, Ghana.
And I say it in a way that it's kind of muffled. I say, Ghana. Oh, Guyana? No, Ghana. And I make it a little more clear. Ghana. Like they don't even know Ghana, right?
They don't even know Ghana.
It's off the scale. Like, I know he's not talking about Africa. And they say, well, where is that?
Ghana?
Yeah. West Africa. And I really speak with an American accent then. You know what I mean? Just to rub it. And you want to say, there's nothing over there but mud huts and lions and tigers and hungry people over there. That pause is the sweetest thing.
I know.
And why would you, in their mind, and even with most Black folks, why would you want to go over there? I've had people.
Because I like lions and tigers.
Yeah. It's an insult. Why would you not want to be here at the American party?
They are forms of cats. Anyway.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. So to be able to, because I'm going to have a period of always doing the shows, but a period of extreme isolation and meditation. No, I'm going to do the shows and stuff. But I mean, like you said, to get the artwork going to get
that's true.
These projects are done and just have a period of where maybe for a month I don't leave the house.
Oh, okay.
Like that, the way things are going to be set up, you won't see me. I can walk in the backyard naked. You won't see. If I want to walk out there naked, damn it, I'll do it. There are no clocks. There'll be certain places where there's a clock, but there ain't going to be no clocks. I don't want to deal with a clock. I'm not on that time. I'm on the internal time. The sun comes down.
Y'all, it's a mess.
But see her typo? Like she said lions and tigers, but she said loins and tigers. Right?
Loins.
Yeah. Well, that probably will be a lot of loins walking around.
That's a Freudian slip.
Freudian slip for real. That's right. And you know what? There won't be no loincloth covering nothing. I'll be out there in the sun like, damn. Imagine you stock up, but you got to stock up. Nobody can see you. You can't see the windows. Your walls are high, whatever. And you can say,
unless they choose to go on their roof. And then if they go on their roof, whatever they see, oh well.
But there ain't no roof that can look down, even because on top of the walls, which are going to be 10 feet, there's going to be some thick trees that you can't see. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's how we have to live, Yeah, honey. You meant lions? Okay. We got you. We know what you meant. But man, that's the ultimate dream, the ultimate goal for me in this life is to get to a place where my mind is free. My mind is free to think of me, about me. And I know that sounds selfish, but sometimes you got to get to a place of being selfish, especially when you've raised a family and you've done things and, whatever. And then you just get to that spot where it's like, oh my God, I don't want to think anymore. I don't want to have any thought on my head. And I know there are a lot of people who live by themselves who have that freedom to do and to be already. So it's not something new, but it's something new for me. It's something that I have yet to experience, just that empty thought, you know.
Yes.
Just
But
be in
imagine,
a space where I can create my stuff, whatever it is that I want to do, just
yeah,
do it. Don't think about
yeah.
it.
Like I said, imagine like saying that I went a month without
Hmm.
putting on clothes. That's a nudist dream.
Oh my gosh.
It'll do you
Yeah,
mental. No, seriously. You know the stress you feel when you have to go to work and you have a uniform you have to put on?
I know. I
It's a
know.
subtle stress, and but it's almost like you're putting cuffs on you mentally. Like, okay, I'm submitting to this. I'm putting on handle.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm shackling myself. And even when I leave out, I gotta wear this uniform until I get home. That's why for me, lots of times, especially when I was working in corrections, I would go to a certain, rest area, whatever. The lockers were way on the other side. I'd change my clothes.
Right.
I take the uniform off. I'd bring it home. I had more uniforms, but I'd take it off and wear something else. You walking out there, t-shirt and shorts. Like, why are you doing that? Because I'm rejecting this place. This place, I'm not getting paid for these hours. I don't need to wear that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
That's right.
And some supervisors didn't like that. They couldn't stop it, but they didn't like it because they understood what I was doing.
Right.
Sometimes I'd go other places. Look, a couple
Wait,
times.
Lance,
Yeah.
let me, I'll be right back. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on in my house. Okay.
right. Take your time. Just
Hmm.
mute yourself.
Can you put me on mute, please?
Okay, hold on. Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, it's a mentality. You can't allow your mind to be shackled. Sometimes our minds are shackled in certain ways that we don't even realize. That when we get to the boundary, like a cow going up to the electric fence, you've been zapped a couple times, so you know not to go there. And that's how they have us, especially in America and all over the world. But over here it's religion and everything like that. But over there it's a different thing. But it's the same result. We willingly give in. We willingly know the boundary. And even when we dare for success in our lives from what we want, you're going to get looked at funny because the other cows in the yard know where the electric fence is. And you say, you know what? It's just an electric invisible fence. I'm going to run through this and there will be some pain. But when I get on the other side, I won't have to be bothered with it anymore. There is a glass ceiling that they put in place that you don't have to acknowledge. You just bust the glass. You know what I mean? And so for the longest time, I knew I'm not going to play by the rules. I just had to figure it out, how to get out. Like an inmate who knows, like, okay, that particular CO, he doesn't do his checks and he falls asleep. And there's a guy out there sweeping. He's going to get the key and hand it to me. I'm going to walk right out of here. Those things have happened before in situations that I know. We had a guy who brought in a uniform for an inmate. And the inmate walked right out the front door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they didn't put that in the news, but it happened. And so
Oh,
they found
wow.
who did that, and he got some charges on him, but they didn't make it public. A lot of things that go on in the world that certain organizations and different factions don't want the world to know because it's embarrassing.
True.
If you can escape these high level prisons, and they have those that happen, and they again and again and again. So there's nothing foolproof, but America is a prison on your mind. And people say, you think that way, that's the way it is. Well, you can live there and not think that way, but there's certain things you're going to have to deal with. Either you deal with them and set it straight where you can live a certain way, or you put your head in the sand and pretend that it's not there. I didn't want to have either way. I just wanted to leave. And I've always wanted to do that. That was my fantasy. to not have to deal with these pressures that I see. I figured it out from high school. And even before that, I knew there was something wrong with that system. You know what I mean? Not that here is perfect, but at this point in my life, the things that, you move from one country to the next, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the first country, there are things that may annoy you. And there are other things in the country that may be something that doesn't annoy you because of the very nature of what it is.
Right.
See what I mean? I don't have to worry when cops roll up on me. White cops rolling up on me. Being beat down by 11 of them for no reason.
Right. Yeah.
You've
always had legitimate reason. Some of us, we just wanted to enmesh ourselves in the damn system. It was like all you could think about was being in the system and rising up, in the system. The system was the shit. Excuse me, you know what I mean? And that's all you could see.
Yeah.
Because you wanted a certain lifestyle, and that was the only way that you could even imagine getting it. We were caught up. I mean, it is what it is. We were caught up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people die being caught up because they work themselves to death, literally, and never got a chance to enjoy anything that they work so hard for.
But I saw examples of that. My father was wise and knew about the system, and he had his own little business and stuff and everything like that. But that perception of time sometimes can be snatched away from you.
Yes.
You worked and worked and worked and worked. And you do things repetitious and you don't realize what time it is. And even though we know it's an artificial construct, I'm aware where my blip is on the radar screen. I'm aware how much closer to transition I am. It's not a gory thing. It's just time to get on up and do what you're supposed to do, because there's a lot of things my father wanted to do on a creative level, on a business level, and then his health began to fail. And there's things he still, even when it started to happen, like I'm going to do this and it was like he never did those things.
Right.
See,
right.
Look, I compare this time thing, like when you're younger and you can put the pedal to the metal on the road. On a straightaway, you can just go, no speed limit, Autobahn, you can go as fast as you want. So even if there's no cop to tell you to slow down, when you hit a curve or a turn or a ramp to get on the other highway that's, T-bone in that one, you got to slow down. Instinctively, you should know. Not go slow, but slow down so you can make it to the other track, the other road where there's another straightaway. But if you think you're going to keep the pedal to the metal and just go fly off the track, you fly off the road, and now you can't continue because you're not on the road anymore. You're probably dead. This particular age for me, I'm not slowing down because I think, no, but I want to slow down a little more to keep myself on the track. And sporadically, as those straightaways come, I'll shoot hard. And that's the thing that most people, that they don't realize what time it is, that you must have a sense of urgency for certain things at certain times, even more so. So as that artificial clock ticks, I have more of a sense of urgency to do the things. And that's what I learned from my father passing away, and certain things he wanted to do and didn't do it because I got to get money. I got to get this money. So what? So what if I have a little less?
That's what we have to learn. That's the lesson.
At a job, you can get $200 more on your thing if you stay so many years.
What are you crazy?
Nope.
It's time for me to not be here so I can pursue something new. I'm
That's
near the top of the mountain.
That's right.
I know I gave years I would get this or get that, but I have enough in me where I can start a new mountain now. That when I get to the top of that mountain, I'll be so far ahead of what the prior plan offered me, pennies on a dollar.
That's right.
I see something different. And then guess what? I can go back to America if I'm set here, and I ain't telling my business, I'm just saying if I'm set here in many ways in a better situation, I can go to America and hang out for 2 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
3 months.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to do that, but I go there and pop up, come back for a month and say, I got some business to take care of. Or there's a project over there that because I had time to develop myself here by getting out of that atmosphere, I'm a global citizen. So there's something at a temporary level that is something in my world of what I do because I had the time to establish myself and they can see what I do online. Well, Lance, do you think you can fly? Yeah, I can come there and live there for 4 months.
Because you have a home base to go back to no matter what.
Exactly. So I'm looking at that like this is a vacation, and I'm working because this work is very lucrative to me, whatever it may be. We're just making stuff up. Well, with your talent and ability, we can give you $250,000 for 2 months worth of work because so. I can do that. But guess what? If I was there and working, I have the talent, but I didn't have the time to develop the talent so that those people can see what I can do. So I'm stuck. You got to jump levels, even if you think that you got to stay on it. You have to stay on it as long as you play that game on that level. And it will be uncomfortable. You will have to tighten up your gut. There will be uncertainty. But this world, and I always thought that. It used to bug me when I was driving the bus. Like right now, there's somebody in Dubai laughing, getting ready to go to the restaurant. Not that Dubai is any better. I'm just saying, right now there's somebody in Singapore sipping some wine.
Yeah. You know the amount of Jamaicans that are in Dubai right now? I saw this video. Listen. Listen. People. We have to change our mindset. Like Lance said, we're global citizens. We have to get into the mindset of globetrotting. Okay? Man, Lance, I saw so many Jamaican people. They were having a get together. I don't know if it was a family reunion and they decided to all meet up there or what it was, but whatever it was, man, I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Exactly.
Why am I not in Dubai?
Right. It may be there or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Damn sure won't be Ukraine.
No.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing, though. That there are all these different realities going on. Why do I have to stay in this reality right here, right now? It may not always be in games, but you can change lanes.
Right.
If there's 3 lanes on the highway and the ambulance stop to deal with a situation, you got to stay in that lane and sit behind. They might be sitting there for an hour and a half.
Exactly.
Moving by. People are living, and they have you brainwashed that this is it. America's not even on the top 10 list of the best places to live. Some people may say it that is that way because of their individual situation. It's not that. I'm not knocking it. That is my home. This is my home, but that is my upbringing. So I'm not going to deny it. I'm gonna turn new on somebody. It's like a person who breaks up with somebody for a good reason.
Right.
And say, oh yeah, well we gonna focus on the bad reasons. Your friends, they wasn't no good to you, so and so. Yeah, a couple bad things happen, but I can't throw away the memories of the good times either. I can't. I'm gonna say it. I can't shit on America. I have a lot of reasons to do so, but I still dream America. You know what I mean? I don't want to be. True. But I have so much time there that most of my essence, that's what made me who I am. Not completely, but that was a big influence. But I'm not going to let that place determine how I view the world. That's proof positive because I'm here. See?
Exactly.
And when I'm done with certain things, I'm going to be traveling all over the motherland and then expand even more. And I'm going to be looking to develop myself and be known for certain things and to reach out to people sideways or, over. And it might be Iceland that I go to for 2 weeks. I don't want to go to no damn Iceland where it's cold, but it might be an experience for me to go there.
Yes.
It's what I've developed and what it takes to
experience it. Yes.
And go up there and speak or be a part of something. And let me go up there. What am I going to sit here?
That's right.
Love it here. But this is going to be my base. This is where I lay my head. This is where I can come to and recalibrate and have my home and have everything set the way I want and then go travel and do other things.
Exactly.
I ain't going to travel with. And you know what? How much money does that take? When you set yourself. But America doesn't allow you to set yourself. Even in America,
doesn't even allow you to dream.
There's other things sucking from you. Inflation is hitting hard. I was watching a video and I fact checked them. I didn't know that in Florida, in certain places now, not all over the country, the panhandle, but rents have gone up 30% in the last year. Now, if we're talking about, it may not be that way. But for most people, they had to move because they couldn't get places to live within their budget. They have. So like there's other things going on. And just like I was watching another one, there's certain ones I looked at are very informative that as I'm doing my editing, I can hear these things. not just on there watching titties and ass. You know what I mean? If it's Pam Grier, fine, but not anybody else. You know what I mean? but you know, inflation and inflation and then printing up this stimulus money is jacking up the economy because it has no value behind it. They're printing more money. That's like somebody selling one land to 10 different people. When you come to cash in, there's nothing there. Maybe one person built and it's done, but 9 other people are going to be disappointed. It's like financial musical chairs. So you're diminishing things, and then inflation comes, and then what? And you get so used to living this way with the stimulus money. Okay, whatever. You get more time home. You get this rent forgiveness thing that turned on people.
Yeah, because then they took it back.
Right. If you're going to be homeless, come out here and be homeless. Go find some land that it's just way out there. You can build a little something and eat some mangoes. But it's going to come down to that where we're going to ask ourselves in America, like, why?
Exactly.
There are people who just 15 years ago were in the teens, 14, 15 years old. Time flies. Even for the younger folks now, the way the world is going, information age, and they got to get out there. And look, back in the day, you can get in a job and say, I'm going to put 20 years in this job and retire. You don't have that anymore.
Listen,
401k is the fact is. You know what I mean?
The thing is, nowadays you work. Say you have a job and you know you're vested after a certain amount of time, or you can get retirement after 25 years. These bastards nowadays, 24 years and 6 months, and they find some reason to let you go.
Exactly. So who wants that? And it's
I
almost
know.
the same when you have something that you're doing of your own that may make a difference in your life, and they're envious of you, but you have to sacrifice. You have to go into working and working a little extra hours and then come and do something. I mean, look, and I'm going to tell you, it's crazy. I was reading an article. I don't know if I said it yesterday, but I was looking at the top jobs that could be here for an expat coming here. You know, like say America, whatever, and you come here, what would be something that you can do, even if it's not something like 100% full time, because there are really no jobs like that. Okay. But what can you do independently? And they spoke about, you know, the cocoa and the farming and the livestock and stuff. And many people might not be into that. You ain't gonna come from the inner city. Well, I'm gonna deal with livestock. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you always want to deal with that. So this, you gotta get land, you gotta this. You know, the number one thing they said, the number one and number two thing they said, blogging. I'm like, what?
What?
Number two was YouTube.
Like, really? What?
Yes. I'm gonna go through my history and find that bad boy. And the number three thing was this. I'm like, look, I'm not saying it's bad over here, but if you're not just gonna come unless you have money to come and start something or whatever, but really? YouTube?
And like, damn. And like Lucia says, if you're a woman, you know, coming to Ghana and trying to start a business, man, that's an uphill battle.
Yeah,
you know, because they
discourage anybody, but
no, we're not.
And at least if you leave America, come with a little something where you can set yourself, and have some kind of independent stream of income. I don't care if it's really small, but you can adjust what you build according to what's in your pocket, and you can still get away. And a lot of people don't understand that it doesn't take as much as one would think. You just have to be able to make the leap, educated, and talk to people who are already here and see the ropes, come visit and see if you can live like that. When I say live like that, and it doesn't mean it's like it's different. But the main thing is to get away from that thing that's going to chew up your life. Okay, say you're supposed to, let's just be raw. Let's just say you're supposed to die at 100. Do you want to be in a system like that from 80 to 100? Say you're supposed to die at 80. You want to be in a system like that from 60 to 80?
No.
Where your physical may not be what it was when it's 20 and it's not really looking to go up. You can only maintain what you got. And you can live, but you're going to be older.
Right.
You don't want to be on that gear to the day you transition. So if I have to live in a space half the size of what I lived in America, then so be it. Let me get away from this thing.
Right.
You work enough and so much. Yes, you work when it's lucrative to you and your soul. You find something that you want to do, not a job where I gotta go in with these damn people. I gotta go in. I don't want to see this person. I don't want to. Just who? You know what that does to your spirit and your soul? How you get you? Look how many people look. Even when our sister, I keep forgetting her internet name. You know what I mean? From the job, she was at the job and she was holding up the I can't say a real name, you know.
Oh, I know who you're talking. Powder,
yeah.
powder.
Baby powder, yeah.
Baby powder.
I'm not saying her because she had more time than me. She wants to wing it out, which if you're almost there like that, fine. I mean, if you need a job, you got to go anywhere you got to go.
Right.
But I saw people there that I saw drivers that you say hi to them and keep going. You don't really talk with them. You just say, hey, how you doing, man? And they look so old in such a short period of time.
I know.
Because I left there in April of 2019 and then came to God. And I was like, I'm out of here. I came back. I was like, that ain't stopping me, but I'm out of here. I already knew.
But you see, you know something too, right? The simple fact that you wanted to go, all the challenges that you have experienced since you've been there didn't wear away at you, because some people, you could look older just by having gone through the things that you went through, you know.
I should look older.
Yeah, some people would have, you know.
Yeah. And I have aged just naturally, but I should be way older.
Yeah.
You know, we look and we say, okay, this is happening.
Hell, I look in the mirror every morning and I see something I didn't see yesterday. What? I'm serious. I feel like my facial exercises aren't working anymore. I got to step it up a notch, man.
I got jokes. I ain't gonna say it.
No, don't say it. But then I can't because, you know, I can't. You know, no equipment. But anyways,
most people sing it this way. Yesterday, all my wrinkles seem so far away.
I know. Now they look like they're here to stay.
I want to go back to yesterday. See,
I do.
Style. I just can't sing.
Stop it.
We all are gonna see age, but it doesn't mean your spirit has to be killed.
Yeah, that's true.
And to have that happy glow of making it to the top of the mountain, your personal mountain, whatever mountain you want it to be, that's the goal.
Right.
Like for you, it's just something different. There's a lot of overlap here about coming to the motherland. And there may be some that say, well, it's not. I agree with you. If it's not, I'm not forcing nobody or saying that's the answer. That's my answer.
Right. That's your answer.
See, as a boxer, every fighter has their own style.
Some people would have gone back home already. Right. Because they just can't deal with whatever it is, you know.
It's different than the way you fight somebody else, slightly. The styles make fights. So your personality, your mentality, and again, your connections. You know, maybe it would be different if I had a bigger family, a bigger, you know, like, you know, and we lived in a certain part in the South, and my aunt lives over there, and my grown kids live over there, and whatever. And things a little rough, but like we got each other. I'm gonna come over later on, man. We got to get some of that good chicken you cooking. Yeah, so and so. Yeah, we're gonna do something down on Saturday. We going out. I'm like, count me in, call me when you're ready. But if it's that, I wouldn't, you know. So there are other personal reasons why.
Right.
You know, I mean, you can see a shoe that says your size on the side of the box, but it don't feel right, and you love the shoe. Man, I want this shoe, but I tried it on, it just didn't feel right.
I know.
So we have to, accommodate. We have to accommodate.
Not at the expense of my comfort.
We have to accommodate.
There's no accommodating happening here.
So that's what really it's all about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it could be something abstract. I can't fault anybody for what they like to do, what makes them feel. You know,
I
do that. You know what I mean?
Roll me Rome. Look, I need an oil change and a grease job.
Grease job.
Listen, I have no understanding. I have no understanding. I have no understanding.
You know, Yeah, that's what it is. You know,
Yeah,
we
that's what it is.
go through our own particular experience going down a similar road that may be similar to somebody else, but it comes out with different results.
Yeah.
And, you know, things that we like to do, don't like to do, whatever it may be. You know, but that's the way it is. You have to just be true to yourself. You know, you have to focus and be true to
Yeah, I'm laughing at Onika. She's a mess. She's screaming. I guess Romi's comment just took her to the floor.
right. That's the case. A lot of us need grease jobs or
Oh
something,
my God. Oh
right?
no. Mm-mm.
It's you have to make decisions. If you
Right.
are in a situation and you hate it or dislike it or it's very uncomfortable,
Yeah.
you have the power to change it. You have the
Yeah.
right to change it. You have the
Yeah.
right to change it. You don't have to be a victim in somebody else's reality. Or
True.
maybe, you know, and when you hate something, take your mind beyond that place and understand that this is real out here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just imagine his like, Lance went to God that know me real good, we close. And I
Yeah.
left and I came out here, and they're like, that alone expanded their mind. Not that I'm some big whatever, but because people that I know that are close, like, so what's it like? You out there? So how you like it? And you could talk the abstract things. Well, you know
Right.
how Queens and Richmond Hill, whatever, you know, and up Liberty Avenue, they had this store. Whatever. Well, this is just like this, and this is just, you got to make those comparisons in different
Right.
ways.
Jamaica Avenue has changed tremendously now, though.
The only Jamaica Avenue I want to see is the Jamaica Avenue back in the 70s.
I know with the trestle,
late,
the overhead.
70s, mid 70s.
Mm-hmm.
That was the real Jamaica Avenue. That
Yep.
because I was younger, that was the real Jamaica Avenue. And the
Yep.
trains overhead before when they tore that down, they took the flavor out of
They,
daggone
they
Jamaica.
sure did. They sure did. It's like a whole part of that area was just really missing. Can I be honest with you? No.
Can I be honest with
Can
you?
I be honest with you?
We need more honesty in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
Mm-mm.
bad, man. If that's true, you know, homeboy, Doctor, the Cash App dude did. You know, he didn't want to talk about anything else. He didn't want to. He got it and left. I can see him doing that.
I
I can see
know.
him
Oh
putting them
my
down, but I can see
gosh.
him doing that. I got to go. I got to go. Hit the Cash
Yeah.
App. Hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. And them long white
Mm-mm.
sneakers he has on, and them jeans, and some of them long African tops coming down, a little gut hanging out.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't even realize.
Not a very pleasing sight
She
or
thought,
visual.
right? She thought there was going to be reciprocation.
Right,
So he said,
right,
I
right.
have to go wash my hands just to get out the room. All of a sudden,
Mm-mm.
she feels a breeze. He probably walked out the door and didn't close it all the way. All of a sudden, the cold air came in, and she sees him opening up the gate, getting out, and like, oh my God, I gave that to him, and he's gone.
I know, I know. Good God Almighty.
But
Oof, Dr. Cash App.
for real, and he knew before he came, he was looking at ways to go.
Yep, yep, yep.
Them
Oh
last few
yeah,
streets,
oh yeah.
he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. And he didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to talk about, where you going? Where you think? Crazy. How do you do that to somebody? Don't
Going
take it.
back to Cali.
Yeah, but don't, you know, don't do
Mm-hmm.
that. Don't
No,
do
no,
that.
that was wrong. That was absolutely wrong.
Don't look. If somebody wants to do that to you and you're not really in that mood or you're not going to do that, say, listen, even lie about it. Yeah, the stress relief would be nice for me, but I'm not really gonna, I'm not really looking to reciprocate. Now, if they want to do it, because sometimes we have people, some of us that like doing it and want to do it. No,
Mm-hmm,
there's no
mm-hmm,
problem.
mm-hmm,
They'll
mm-hmm.
do it all day long until month of Sundays and not even think about no reciprocation. But
True.
don't just make that decision for them like that.
Right.
When it was obviously a one-time thing. And then now, come on, man, you knew you're gonna do that. You know she looks up to you as some superstar. You know what I mean? And she was so proud to have your thing in her mouth. Like this is an honor.
True.
It means sometimes you're celebrating who they are. As weird as Michael Jackson the people say that he wasn't weird. He's right on where he should be with the upbringing that he had. I understand him completely. But half the time, if he walked into the room and you may not be in the skinny man or men with foundation on, or he got the skin issue, whatever, trust me, you get behind closed doors. Excuse me, Ella, I'd like to just maybe taste your breast. I'm not saying you would.
You-
I'm not saying you would. But a
I'm,
lot of
I'm
people out
cracking
here,
up. I'm just-
Michael Jackson spit on their nipple. Trust me. You know what I mean? And before he got out the front gate, you'd probably be on the phone. Michael Jackson sucked my breast. All the ladies got their girlfriend that they can call. Girl,
Excuse me, Ella.
let him do more. He's Michael Jackson. But see, it wasn't just the breast thing that goes on. See,
Oh, bless us, bless us,
Uh,
bless us, bless
that's
us.
all you're told.
That's all I told. Hey, there you go. There you go. There you go.
You in the shower cleaning yourself off to my.
You know. This is
I'm
a
not-
don't ask, don't tell situation. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
You can change it around and say, yo ass, don't tell.
Yo ass, don't tell. That's right. That's right. I don't tell.
Yeah.
Y'all is like not Michael Jackson.
Like Landon said about being a blogger, it's true because like there really there ain't no money in this like that. There is for certain niches, but you're just not gonna, like a lot of people say, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Look, we got something called algorithms. You could talk the best shit you want. You have a lot of subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
$150 if you're lucky. Now, there's some people that clear 13,000 a month and some people that clear 20,000. But with the way censorship is now and cancel culture, you ain't getting up on YouTube past a certain level of being radical.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know how to talk around certain things
That's
because
right.
like there's
That's
people
right.
sitting there. I'm going to hit this button when they brought that
That's
in.
right.
You give a brief history on that. I know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a thing called AI, artificial intelligence, that listens, because and they allow a certain amount of cursing to go on, although they allow you to hang yourself because now you have to assess your own video.
Yeah.
Does this have violence? Does this video contain controversial topics? Does this video contain hate speech?
Mm-hmm.
And you do it. You have to admit it. But it don't matter because AI is going to get you.
Exactly.
I just say all my videos have nothing bad in it, right? Let them figure it out. But now I have a monetized channel, but I have to request them to review damn near every video to see if it's worthy of whatever.
And that's something.
And I ain't really, so it's not a money thing. So people who think that, I was popular on this channel and I can go do my own, whatever. Nah. You better have good content. You better fall under the guidelines or whatever. Even Star, from the Star report, we were talking.
Yeah.
He says, you know what I do to tag up my videos? I don't tag it for what it really is. I tag it and I use words like comedy, laughter, happy, nice. Got to do that. There's certain things you have to get away from AI.
Is that where they look in your tags?
That's one aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
That's one aspect of it. And if you don't put a tag, then you're gonna, they're gonna look really hard at you.
Really look at you, yeah.
You got to give them something. Like you in the yard as a mailman, and you got a pit bull coming at you, and they're between you and the gate. Don't cover your eyes. Give him something that you don't mind him biting. You know what I mean? He might jump up and bite your nuts. Give him the ankle. You know what I mean? I'll hop my way to the fence, and then I'll try to squeeze you out. But you're going to get hit. And it's different than the way it used to be. You understand? So there's a lot of ways and things, and there's new channels I'll be starting and different things that will fall under that. I know those ropes, but I'm already typecast. You know what I mean? Who wants to see Sylvester Stallone in a homosexual love story? They want to see him in action. I mean, most of us don't want to see him in a homosexual. Most of us don't want to see a homosexual love story.
No.
Already established that way. So you don't want to see him in it. So I'm already stamped that way. I was a little troublemaker. I'm a little bad boy. I'm going to always speak truth, but you better be shrewd with it. You be the biggest, strongest fighter in the world, but somebody who's smaller and weaker can finesse you because they have skills. So now I'm on a skills thing right now.
There you go.
And like I said, I already see, but yeah, it has taken a hit, and they all up in my ass. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's not as easy. When they said that about YouTube and blogging, like
the person who said that, they have it. I can, you know, you can be inside all day if you have a successful channel. Go do your, because that is a business. It is a business. YouTube is a business, and in a business, you have to work, but more than a job. Like, you just don't throw up videos and think, because there's a lot of people I know that been throwing up videos, and from what I hear, they're like so surprised that they didn't even make but $25 for the month. A video is not a video is not a video. There's some videos that I had that I put out there that I'm like, this is not going to really, because every time it's just what I do. It's hit or miss for me. I don't care, right? Because it wasn't YouTube that brought me out here and financed me.
There you go.
So, but that's not the case. But there are things I've thrown out there, and it's like, there's a way to do it right now in the present day. It's a lot of work to position yourself that way. And it is work because, look, we got white folks out here who see, the thing is, on YouTube, Black folks in YouTube, Black folks in social media, a team of people, after a while, when they get used to certain, see certain a bit of attention, they start getting arrogant. They start thinking, I can do this, I can so and so. But you get folks out there that's getting,
start talking at people, their fans.
Just in general, you know, hey, Bill, you know, I think you're a prick. You've been trying my life all these times, and I think you got through, and I hate you for that. Never talking to you. But you know what? These niggas across town are doing this, and we can do this and get together and make millions of dollars, and they work together. You know what I mean? But you get Black folks, they get the certain amount of attention when they're not used to it, or they're narcissists undercover, and everybody believes in them and all this stuff, the facade or whatever.
Wow.
Go on with yourself and see what you do. Because this is, and it's a happy job, but it can't be. It's a hobby job that you like to do, and whatever you get, you get. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But if you go into it and you learn and whatever, and you have something legitimate and unique to offer, but you ain't getting up there. First of all, the bulk of your content cannot be all you do is talking about white people.
Right.
You ain't really gonna, you know. Oh no. There's a way to do it, and I ain't hesitating from it, but there's a way to do it. That's why you better have your own particular platform. But the narcissists amongst us don't want to put that kind of work in.
You got to develop our own language too, you know, on these social media platforms. When you want to have certain conversations, you really do. You have to develop.
Well, if a pit bull bites you, you won't have nuts.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember Ross that passed, he was talking about codification, and the reality is we don't have one. We don't have any. You know.
That's something that I don't know. We're just all jacked up.
You know, they thought Ebonics was gonna be it, but Ebonics got relegated to hood language or hood talk. We need something, because when you got to get in on these people, and you need to have a platform to do it. I mean, you have your channel, your website, but as we see, no matter how much you put it out there, somehow it comes out of your mouth and it gets to their ears, but there's a disconnect from your ears to the actual platform to, you know, go over there and type in an email or type in and say, I want to register, I want to be a part of this, you know. So you do need an international thing like YouTube to get people to get your message out, but you can't do it in the regular, you know, our regular speak, because you're going to get chopped down.
Of course, no doubt. And you got to be shrewd now, because really what they have is in place to destroy you if you're not going along with their program.
Exactly.
You have to be careful. So there are other things that I'll be starting and doing along the same lines of what we already do, but it'll be severely tailored to be just as potent, but codified.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And really and truly, I'll tell you, honestly, I love it, but there's a lot of aspects of it I'm tired of. I'm really tired. You know, like the way I felt in December. You know, I'm not a quitter, but it's like What is this worth it? You set up things, and you set up these platforms and different things, and we rah and populates or uses it. You put it there to be used even beyond you. It's not even about me.
Right.
Like, I'm spending money setting this up.
Right. There's no reason why we can't every day right out the park, right out the gate, right out the whatever, the horse race.
Nobody give me no money. I'm saying
No, not money.
Populate it and
Yes.
get some movement going, so everybody because I'm not gonna censor you.
Yeah.
You can come on there and you do these things, and you're like, look at this. It's like you have a Black owned business that actually supplies the needs of the people. Everybody going to the white stores and the Korean stores. It's like, well, I'm good in the pockets.
You actually have reasonable prices. That's the thing about it. You're not one of those businesses that gouge people.
If you join this or join that, nobody's. I paid for it already. Whatever little
No,
things.
I'm just saying. If you in terms of if you're using that as an example, a Black-owned business, because a lot of Black-owned businesses, just because of the money they have to pay to get supplies, they have to pass on that cost to you, and they wind up charging more than you know what I'm saying, than the Chinese or the white man down the road. They can give you a good price because they got it for a good price.
Yeah, and
we don't get it for a good price.
Connections to bring things in at a really great price.
Exactly.
And like as many ideas as we've tossed out, and like I said, put it this way: once I'm completely settled very soon, there'll be things that I'll be doing, and I'll put it out there to the inner circle. Whoever wants to get down. But when I'm not gonna say blow up. I don't want to be like that dude in the hood who never did nothing, but he's threatening everybody. Okay, you ain't give me that $5 so I can go to the store to get me some beer. Well, my court case come through, you ain't gonna get nothing. See, I'm not like that. There's usually no court case, right? But when I get my settlement, ain't no settlement. You ain't have no case, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That way, street ways. But what I'm saying is that, like, you set up things, you think whatever, and it's like, all right, I've already moved on. Like I said. I told you earlier, and I said it like this. When I get to the point of doing other things that can be more effective, I'm always going to do these shows, but it might be one a day and maybe a 10-minute thing, maybe one for an hour, 5 days a week, and every day like a 10-minute little segment. Because I cannot put this kind of energy into this when there's so many other things that others are involved in and supporting and going up with and the collective. And yes, there'll be things that I get into that on the other side of town, symbolically, that they're sticking together and they're not getting into this bickering, and you have this great goal and you find out this person that you're down with this thing is a piece of shit and they ain't living right and you can't support them no more. But people can't see that. From one and run to the other one. And no, the internet's for everybody. You can go where you want.
That's right. They gladly accommodate a question that they shouldn't answer.
Right. You understand? So all of that bickering and all that and popping into this, I'm gonna go call this one up. So you heard about this, and I'm not some little minuscule way to be gossiped on, and it's gonna happen. It doesn't bother me. Because I know the reality of certain things. But I'm too big for that. I don't mean internet big. I'm just saying big in my dreams and my visions.
Right.
Too big for that. I don't want to be somebody sitting up just of a certain age, just sitting there with a petty mentality. I'm like that butterfly in the cocoon. I'm fighting the cocoon. I want to fly. Y'all want to be caterpillars? Be caterpillars.
Exactly.
I'm not with that. But I want to fly. I ain't going to even get in the cocoon and just chill out there. I got to bust through. I got to get to the next level. There's things that are more completed here. Oh, I'm so enthusiastic. I can't sit here and just bicker and the negative side of things. I love everybody here in the room and who comes to the shows whenever they can. But I'm bigger than what, and again, it's not ego, and I'm saying bigger like I'm supposed to be some Hollywood star. I'm saying bigger in the growth of what the universe is calling on me to do.
I agree.
I have.
Right.
You You bring home a little pocket of seeds, whatever, and plant them in your yard and come back in 10 years and see if you can put all that back in your pocket. Trees.
Right?
I'm talking about weed, I'm talking about trees, maybe weed too. What I'm saying is that you're supposed to grow beyond that. You throwing out stuff in your spring cleaning, or maybe not your spring cleaning, but you're a child, 8 years old. Now you're 11. Time to throw out them shoes you got when you were 8. You can't fit them no more.
Right.
And you pause for a second and look at, I remember this. Even try to put your arm in. My arm can't get in this. You love it still, but you got to get rid of it.
Got to get rid of it.
On a certain level when there's so much inside of me. I'm not going to do to me what the American system tried to do to me in the very different things that I did, whether it was architecture or anything else.
Exactly.
I've always been mentally free because I've been thinking for many decades of my life. America never had me trapped. I just thought that it was more of a thing where you can muscle through certain things. You ain't muscling through certain things. I'm not trying to be negative to nobody, but it's so, the gravity, you move sideways is so much better. You move a little, move mentally, sometimes physically, sometimes away from certain crowds of people, the way they think, that energy will be around.
Right.
Y'all don't know what I see. From this point, I see it's like a person on stage and you're seeing everybody in the audience. Everybody in the audience is seeing you. They might see who's next to them and the head in front of them, but I see all y'all.
Right.
See how some of y'all move. Hypocritical, destructive, gossipers, going back and forth and all of this stuff. I'm not here for that. We do what we do. We inform each other. We tell some jokes. We get to know each other, and we love each other and whatever. But I'm not sitting in the corner and sitting up on the stage, looking down and seeing a couple snakes. Not yet. So that kills it for me. Because what's your purpose?
I know.
The reason why you take so much time and you're here. Why are you here? I'm not here for anything negative. I love it. This motivates me. Look, I'm sharing. I'll look at websites and get information or whatever, and I can come on here and be like, yo, this happened, that happened, that happened. I'm not trying to be no newscaster.
Right.
But I love to keep my mind expanded. And if you like the way we do things here, we keep the mind expanded. I'm not going to try to bring you into my funk. White supremacy and spirituality. And talk about spirituality. If you were so spiritual, you wouldn't have left your wife. If you were so spiritual, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now. But the world, you got fooled. See? That's why I can't fuck with you no more. But some people don't care about that. That's
exactly.
See, people.
Let's watch the firestorm.
If I got roaches I can't get rid of, I'm gonna burn down the whole house. You ain't gonna have the last laugh. I'll end it.
Please don't.
No, I don't mean the show. I'm just saying, I'll start all over again. I ain't got no problem with that.
I know.
I started all over again in Africa.
You sure did.
Negro. You mean that nigga left his job and left this and left that because I wanted better and I saw better? I got balls.
A lot of us are afraid to start over.
I mean, I have testicles, but I also have balls. Balls are different from testicles. Women can have balls because that's a symbolic state of mind with the drive.
That's right.
I know some women who got bigger balls than most men. And I damn sure know some lesbians who have huger balls, sometimes bigger than mine. You got to give credit where credit's due. You got some lesbian chicks out here who are more man than some men out here.
True.
They're not male, but they're more man. Credit's due.
Not afraid to stand up. That's true.
Some of them lesbian chicks I know treat their women better than most men treat their women.
Whew.
And I'm not exalting anything over anybody because I've seen jealous lesbians beating their women's ass just for looking at the next girl's ass. I've seen all that too. But man up is not just for males. Man up is a state of mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Sister Yonika said, it's that big dick energy. Big dick energy don't mean you have to have a big dick.
Right.
It's a man who has conviction, a man who has that stick-to-itiveness to go out and conquer the world and make a way where there was no seemingly way before.
That's right.
That energy. You can have a penis so small that you can only hold it with tweezers, but you got big dick energy if you a real man. See, we born as males. That's right. And when you have big dick energy, again, you can have a small penis and have big dick energy. And again, there's a lot of guys out here who have big dicks and ain't worth a damn. Because I'll say a lot of good dick connected to fools and do-nothings and men who can't stir anything else up but a little arousal and a little tickling of a cum. Sitting in a dark room, the light bill ain't been paid. Open the fridge for the 10th time. It's the same thing of butter there. You think, well, maybe I can eat butter, scoop of butter. I'm so hungry. Mayonnaise on some bread. Ain't got no lemons. Just put a little bit of sugar and swish it around. You ain't got even as much sugar. You take the thing of sugar and put water in the sugar thing and drink that.
Exactly.
What does that mean? You understand? So it's a state of mind and a state of being.
It means that you're not willing to go out there and make sure you have more than just mayonnaise.
Yeah. When I used to drive the dollar van, ain't ashamed to say that, the big energy came into being.
Yeah.
Because I'm out there from 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, yo, by 12, I'm going to have $200 to $250. Damn sure did. When I first got out there, didn't know how to read the road. I got to talk about that in a whole show. You got to go out on the road and know the timing and know what window of opportunity, how much time you got left, if you're under or over, and how to cut this and cut corners, whatever. First time I went out there, these guys were like sharks. They knew what they were doing. Working, boom, 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 boom. Normally, I'm walking down the street, didn't know nothing about that world. Oh, I'm going to take a dollar van up. Just give a dollar. He ain't making money. Yes, he is, because he's out there all day. You go and you make your little $7, $8 an hour, whatever minimum wage was way back then, $6, $7, whatever it was. Yo, he's making a killing, but you don't know that. That was the invisible economy. And so when I got turned on to that, I was like, and homeboy was telling me, a brother from Nigeria, Gerald Ahukuma, who I used to work with at Home Depot, got to give credit where credit's due. Brother Lance, you don't have to be suffering like this. Let me show you something. Come with me just on Saturday, and I will let you know how we do. I'm going to show you what I do, how I do it, and I was like, oh, snap.
Really?
Yo, I got to get me a van. But that
what were you using?
What you mean as far as a van?
Before. Oh, okay.
Driving a dollar van. I got to use Chevy Astro at first.
Okay.
How much I paid for it to get me out there.
Right.
And the first couple of days that I went out there, I was very much hit with reality. It wasn't easy. I did not know how to read the road.
Right.
I guess I was showing that. And the principles of reading the road while you're driving a van to make money, nobody's going to hand you money. You're going to go up and know how to get it and time it and whatever. It's the same principles I see out here in Africa. How they drive with the vans and how they do. And like a lot of times Mrs. Scurv was with me. She said, why do he do that? And I say, well, the reason why is because he's not going to go and take us all the way down. You're going to have shorter trips during the rush hour. They want to go down and up as quick as they can.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll be nice and take you 10 more miles down for an extra little bit of money. No, because the rush hour is happening. And during the rush hour, you better get it while you can. The slower hours, yeah, okay, you slow down. When the evening rush hour comes, whatever you call it, it's a little different over here. You better be getting it. You better be in it. For no
get an Uber, because you ain't going to get no dollar van take you all the way home.
Right. So it's a science to that. And the first few days, I was making between $30 and $35. That's
wow.
it. I'd go up with two people, go up with one person. Can't figure why I didn't fill up. I didn't understand how the road worked, the timing, the people, the commute. I'll tell you, I'll get into it. I'll explain. It'll be very interesting too when you see it.
Yeah.
It'll make a lot of sense. It's a whole different ball game. And once you know it, and I became the master. Everybody else was doing it, but it's like when I got into it, they were like, yo, this guy is making money. I mean, that's the way it was. I took my beating and I said, no. There's one part of me is like, I don't think I can do this. But I'm not that kind of person. But it was like, I thought it was hit or miss, and I just wasn't, but there's a definite way of getting that money up out the street. to the point where you have hundreds of dollars in your pocket. And that sounds good now for the economy. Imagine you had something that you could leave off of it, go home, lay down for an hour, come back, and I got $300-400 after getting the gas, eating, buying some stuff, and I got that. And some days were slow, and you had to know how to read the road. That you knew, like there are times when I was like going home to lay down and sleep. Then I'm like, I need to get back up. It's like, yo, ass, it's 11 o'clock at night, man. But if you get up and drive now, you're supposed to be up 4:35 on the road. How are you gonna make your money tomorrow? Well, the money I make now will offset that money. But why would you think that? Well, listen, it's New Year's Eve. Also a blizzard. The cabs can't make it. A club and can pile up people and not get $1 for each fare, but get full
$10
money. And go from Astoria, Queens, not even in another borough. But I can go to Manhattan and park up in front of a club for 10 minutes when it's letting out. And there's somebody who lives in Queens in that area who knows my van, because I had the chrome rims. I had Sir Lance written across the back, big antenna with some nice little ribbon, dark tinted windows, dark neon lights all over the place, clean, CB radio. I just stood up there. Oh, what's up, Sir Lance? Didn't even know the person. Like, really, I had regulars. You going back out the way? I know your van's going. Yeah, I'm going out. How much, Yo, man, shit, $50? Sure. Cold.
Oh.
They want to go home. I take them right to their door. You see the factors involved. You know what's out there. So now you got 7 passengers paying you $50 to get dropped off by their door, where the cab would pay them more. If you can get a cab, see?
There you go. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Out my bed to make $350. Now I come home and I sleep later and don't do the morning rush. And everybody's like, yo, I didn't see you. What happened?
I worked last night.
Exactly. Or you go to the supermarket. You go out to Pathmark when Pathmark was out there in 5 towns. And you're coming back around certain parts of Jamaica, Queens, Richmond Hill, whatever, South Ozone Park. Oh, yo, man, you going back around the way? I'll hit you off.
Yeah.
You went grocery shopping for yourself. Now check this out. My van was highly decorated. You knew my van. Oh, even if you weren't on the bus routes that I worked. Just normal. I keep seeing that van. And the way dollar vans look, you knew it was a dollar van. I'd go to the store for myself, come out and see 5 people standing in the parking lot. They knew. He must be inside. And he said, well, you going? Yeah, I got you. I can't really afford. And see, I was nice with people. I can give you $10. No problem. Next person might give me 20. On those kind of runs, like whatever you can give, just give it.
Right.
Run in the van, they're going to go with you when they see 3 vans coming up. They say, go ahead. We're going to go with Sir Lance.
Exactly.
Yeah. People ain't got it sometimes. Come on, I'm going to bring you home. No problem. Sometimes I couldn't even go home. I'm heading home on the last trip. Somebody flagging me. I need you to take me over to the hospital. So, okay, come on, I got you.
Make sure you don't have no ice cream in your groceries.
I had a big bowl of mints in the front. And in the front of the van, is the candy man.
Ooh.
The African brother, I know what kind of candy you have. I saw your van the other night parked up under the tree over by the warehouse there.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. It's
so
your creativity. You can think,
That's true.
Look, what people call problems, yes, they're there. I call them challenges, but every problem has a solution. When anybody aggressively comes at you, they have left themselves open in some way. You throw a punch at me or a jab, you left your body open.
That's right.
I don't have to wait for you to hit me with the jab to start throwing mine or my right to your body. As soon as I see the jab coming out, boom, I got to come with something, but I got to know the rhythms. That's the only thing that kept me to survive. White folks look at me like, how'd that nigger make it to this age? So that's what they know. When you're older, they know you know the ropes. Even if you're being cordial to them, don't make me go there. You know I can read you like a cheap novel. You know up under your rule and your system and how you generally think, there's no surprises because I know how you think.
Right.
Go on with your bad self and just know that I know. And I ain't afraid of you. And that's what it has to be. You know what I mean? We're running tweezers. Together we can rule the world. Not the size of the penis, it's the big dick energy.
Yes, indeed.
Anybody can have that.
Yes,
I know some
indeed.
lesbians have big dick energy.
No comment. So,
yes,
sir.
Yeah, we've been talking for 2 hours and didn't even get to the topic.
We haven't got to the topic yet. And we'll spend 15 minutes on the topic, 5 on each.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nyakim Gatwech or Gatwech.
Yeah, I'm glad you said there's no way that I'm going to pronounce that name and get it right. For real.
It could be Gatwech too.
That's like me wearing a hearing aid and me hanging out with some Jews and trying to speak Yiddish. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work.
Oh,
I'm going to
read
this article. And you know, with me, I don't really want to always go with the most popular things. You know, like I like those other things that like go under the radar, but are just as and need to be, you know, covered and think about.
Right.
Major things, but it gets pushed away because of a name, Kanye West or Jay-Z or whatever, you know. But I'm gonna read it this way. What is the name again? Say it again. I'm putting it on you.
Nyakim.
Okay, now, or maybe the N is silent. I don't know.
It could be. It could be Yakim. It could be, but I think it's Nyakim.
All right, cool. I'll call it Kim Gat.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna say that. But I'll just say Nyakim. I'm probably saying it wrong.
You're probably saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Nyakim.
Columbia University psychiatry chief suspended over tweet about Sudanese model Nyakim Gatwech. Gatwech. I'm gonna say it 10 ways. Maybe I'll hit. It's hit or miss. Maybe I get one of them. I'll get it right.
Somebody will come in the comment section and you know
spell it out.
Yeah.
Right? Columbia University professor was suspended after posting a controversial tweet that referred to a dark-skinned model as a freak of nature, school officials said. Jeffrey Lieberman? Oh, really? Oh, y'all jump on us when we say something, so we need to blow that up. Jeffrey Lieberman?
Where is this at?
Let me continue reading up. Columbia University. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeffrey Lieberman, who chairs Columbia's psychiatry department, was suspended effectively immediately after the insensitive post, which was condemned within the university and crossed the psychiatric community. Lieberman's comments were about Nyakim Gatwech, a Sudanese model who has gained international fame as a dark-skinned model with a large following on Instagram. Her fans refer to her as Queen of the Dark. Lieberman was responding to another message about the model that called Gatwech the most beautiful among the Black beauties and made a wildly false claim that she was in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the darkest skin ever. Whether a work of art or freak of nature, she's a beautiful sight to behold, Lieberman wrote on Monday. The tweet drew strong negative reaction from readers who condemned it as sexist and racist. Among the detractors was Columbia University, which denounced the tweet in a letter to staff. We condemn the racism and sexism reflected in Dr. Lieberman's tweet and acknowledge and share the hurt, sadness, confusion, and distressing emotions you may be feeling, Thomas Smith, the psychiatry department's new acting director, said in the email. A university spokesman confirmed that Lieberman had been suspended. Lieberman apologized for the tweet in a note to his colleagues. An apology from me to the Black community, to women, and all of you is not enough, Lieberman wrote in the email. I've hurt many, and I'm beginning to understand the work ahead to make needed personal changes over time to regain your trust. Lieberman's account had been removed, but the offending tweet was reposted by Gatwech herself, who said Lieberman's comment was hurting her brand. unfortunately, I believe this has been impacting, and there's, it's gonna be court cases, impacting my Instagram account negatively. Gatwech wrote on Instagram, I have worked really, really hard to build my page and use it as a platform to promote self-acceptance, body positivity, and of course, my brand partnerships. But it's about self-love above anything else. She also shot down the Guinness World Record talk. Although we've denied it to multiple fact checkers, clearly it's still floating around. Even at Guinness World Record stated that it does not monitor skin tone, she wrote. I can't imagine it's even possible to know who the lightest or darkest person on the planet is.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that appears to be the end of the article. What I'm saying is that, this is the thing.
He can keep that apology. I don't want it.
And we know that's well scripted and whatnot. And he's, you have to be humble, and he wants his job back, back, but he's known for that. But the thing is, us as Black people got to understand that this is a business. Social media is a business for some of us. Like some, I was doing it before I ever got a dime for a decade and a half, a decade and 8 years, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like almost 20 years before I knew what $100 looked like. Like, wow. I think the first money I ever got from YouTube. I'll tell you. I can't screenshot it now. I have to dig.
Okay.
But the first money I got, and this is going to crack you up, from YouTube. And people say, well, that's pretty good. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to understand. I got $515. And you know the circumstances?
Tell me.
I thought that what I saw in the account, not my account, I was set up to be monetized, but I never looked in there like that because I didn't believe I could make anything. But my channel was up for 6.5 years.
Oh my God.
I got $515.
Oh my God.
I kept seeing it. Like I kept seeing like 300 something. And as the years rolled by, I thought that was like a dummy page to show you like how much you're getting. I didn't think it was real. And then when I talked to one of the Google people, and they're like, yes, that's your money. That's my money.
Wow.
Yeah. But I wasn't set up to be whatever. I was, but there was another step that I had to take to you know what I mean? I didn't know the process. A little different back then. I was like, I'm trying to, what? You mean I can do that? Even though it was like 6.5, 7 years worth, which wasn't no money. You can't get paid until you break the $100 threshold.
I know.
Sometimes it's a couple months or a year and a half for somebody to do that. Somebody could do better, right? But it was sitting there all that time, and it inspired me not to make it a money-making thing, but to say, I can understand why some people do this.
And it probably came in real handy when you saw it too and realized you could get it.
Oh, I was functionally broke. I had no access. I was functionally broke. I was broke. I was like that dude who knew how many bites of food that I can make to take to work for lunch, but I was glad that day was payday. And I went in my uniform and didn't come home until late because I went straight to the restaurant and spent a whole lot of money eating, knowing that I shouldn't, but I'm treating myself to this.
You were just so happy.
Yeah. Heck to the yeah.
Oh, God.
I know about that. Different times that I was functionally broke, the bills are paid, but the money was low. Or I just miscounted, whatever have you. And I'm like, looks like I'll be taking these lemon cream cookies to eat for lunch today. Got drink in there. These 3 quarters. I nurse them bad boys. I'll eat 3 cookies an hour and just sustain myself because I only got 24 cookies.
Oh my God. I know.
Yeah, 24, 8 hours. Would you eat lunch, Liz? I'm kind of fasting today. And you got a cookie. I thought you were fasting. No, somebody give me a couple cookies here. And you eat like that for a day, I'm going to say it. You doodle all wrong and weird and different. You go to the bathroom, it's like, this is not even my body. I don't even doodle like this. I'm sorry I have to say it.
Where's Kwame?
No, seriously.
Cook myself.
You know the times you doodle wrong in your life? The number one time is when you drive from state to state. You're driving across a couple of states. For those of us on the East Coast, like I'm going to New York to Florida, New York to North Carolina, New York to Georgia, or whatever, right? And you drive it and you get by them rest stops. And you eat food out of restaurants or fast food joints that you're not used to eating. Like they got weird names, but you see a burger and fries. I don't agree with you. You don't get diarrhea, but you eat that. Then you eat these other cookies and eating pretzels and what the hell?
Yeah, that's true. Eating all kinds of crap.
And you're like, I got a brick in my gut.
Yep.
And then you got diarrhea the next minute.
So you messed up.
You feel like you want to go, but your body is saying go, but it don't come out. It's just liquid. It's weird.
It's weird. It's weird.
Like when you got the food that you bought in your refrigerator and the things you used to eat, you eating all this weird stuff.
I feel like men experience those changes more than women do. I could be wrong, but just from past experience, I feel like men, because too much information. Sometimes I just don't understand. I don't understand it.
No, it's something. You all weird and you bloated in certain ways. You look at your this. And you driving and you sweating maybe or whatever, and you're tired. You eating cotton candy.
Oh my God.
They ate that other stuff. And the food is never really, it's just to escape hunger.
Yeah.
And when you get your guts messed up for like 3 days, you're only gonna be there 5. Then you say, let me bring some of this food from here in this bigger city that I can deal with on the trip up there, but you always end up going.
Oh yeah.
You come back funny. Sometimes you have jeans on, and now the notch on the belt, you gotta you
gotta loosen it. I know.
Exactly. Then you got the rest stop blues. You better. Oh, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm a little tired, and the other person tired too. Might be 3 of y'all. Might be 2 of y'all. And you pull up at the rest stop. Pull up under the light so that it casts a shadow. So if you don't have tint, they can't see in there, and you're there. If it's summertime, you don't want to sleep and roll the windows all the way down. You keep them cracked. Full ventilation, whatever. But then you locked it with somebody with a bad gut too, and all you're doing is fart.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, weird. Like, that's me? There's a tactic with that. Let me help you. If the other person has the same situation, hold your stuff until they go. Then when you go, you can blame it on them. And they ain't gonna say nothing. They're gonna say, damn, Lance.
Damn.
And you just, lift your easing out quiet. And you stay quiet. You ain't gonna suffer for yours, but you know what's theirs and you sit there and just look at you. I can't bring it up.
You son of a bitch. You did that to me. You know that wasn't me. You know that, right?
If you're by yourself, your own farts don't bother you. Breathing all free. That's mine.
It's yours. Oh God.
Exactly.
Although sometimes your own can bother you. It's like, oh my.
Well, it can scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. It's like,
because
that came out of me. Oh my God.
It's like the wind before the hurricane.
No.
Especially when you eat clean and then you go on the road and you this, whatever.
Yeah.
You got weird stuff going on.
That's true.
You're sweating, you're fatigued, you're eating this stuff, and you're not there yet. And Tuscaloosa, 850 miles. Like, you don't want to be going to Tuscaloosa anyway. It's over there. Or wherever you're going.
So this doctor, it's funny, these Liebermans, they're all doctors and they're all psychologists and stuff, because I knew a couple of them, well, they're wife and husband, down in Florida. I worked with them.
The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal. Go ahead.
Lance.
That's an old elementary school rhyme. Beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal. Moving along.
That
one.
Moving along. And Reese had to be the one to... So, sir.
Yes.
Honeybees.
We don't know. We don't realize how important they are.
Yeah.
To us.
I know.
And what they're stating is that the population of insects are diminishing. You're out and the bee comes out. Get away, bee. What do you want me? Get away, bug. Everything has a purpose. Man, insects, different animals, different things in the sea to keep the ecosystem in balance. It's not just plants and oxygen and carbon dioxide. And, it's not just that. So I found it interesting. And I said, I wanted to spread it along to bring a little awareness on something that we may not be thinking about. We want to do things like that. It doesn't always have to be white supremacy, the pink parasite, and so on. No. Yes, we with that. But we're not just going to make it that.
That's right.
To know a little bit about everything to survive in this world.
You don't want a plate of just pure steak or greens. You want a little something, some fruits, some different things on the side with it too. Yes, indeed.
I know, Carol, I'm a hot mess. Yeah, that's usually what comes after a gut like that, a hot mess.
Oh dear. Yes.
The world's insect population is in decline, and that's bad news for humans. And this is from NPR.org. Let's just show you the different things that I look at. Let me see if there's any words in here that I can't pronounce. It's pretty good. Habitat loss, pesticides, and climate change are threatening insect populations worldwide. In 2019, Biological Conservation reported that 40% of all insect species are declining globally, and that a third of them are endangered. And while it may sound nice to live in a world with fewer roaches, environmental writer Oliver Millman says that human beings would be in big trouble without insects. That's because insects play a critical role in pollinating plants we eat, breaking down waste in forest soil, and forming the base of a food chain that other larger animals, including humans, rely upon. It would be an extremely dire place to live in, and certainly not something we should ever aim for, Millman says, of an insect-free existence. You would certainly have mass starvation and societal unrest. It'll be a place where there would be rotting feces and corpses everywhere because dung beetles and other insects that break down those materials would be gone.
Wow.
Millman charts the troubling decline of insects in his new book, The Insect Crisis: The Fall of the Tiny Empires That Run the World. He says that while it's impossible to know exactly what's happening with every insect species in the world, the overall trends are not good. The monarch butterfly population in North America has plummeted in the past 40 years. For instance, and a UN assessment done in 2019 found that 500,000 insect species are under the threat of extinction, some in the coming decades. The world, our surroundings, would be far quieter, far duller, far drabber without drabber. That's a word? Drabber? Far drabber without insects, he says. When you start kind of digging down into these figures, looking at the research, it's clear that there's something seriously amiss. There is a consistent decline in most insect population, and that spells major trouble for them, but also for us.
Right.
You've got some places in China where the loss of insects is so great that armies of people have been told to fan out and go through orchids with paintbrushes and feathers on sticks to pollinate crops by hand.
Oh, wow.
A hugely labor-intensive operation that obviously isn't really sustainable long-term. We need the insects around to do these jobs as they've done them for millions of years. So there is this growing rumble of concern about food insecurity, especially when you think of what's happening with the overall trends. I mean, the world's population is growing. There's been a 300% increase in the volume of agricultural production, depending on animal pollination in the last 50 years. So we're losing pollinators at a time when we're demanding more and more pollination. We have more mouths to feed. We need more farmland. We need more intensively farmed farmland. At this kind of crucial moment, we're losing the pollinators that do that for us. Bees get a lot of the focus and the attention when it comes to pollination, but there's a whole array of insects that provide that pollination service. In fact, 3/4 of the world's flowering plants and about 1/3 of the world's food crops depend on pollinators at some stage. And so it's not just bees. Flies are huge pollinators. That includes fishes that pollinate the cocoa crop that chocolate comes from. And that's out here in Ghana, you know what I mean? And there are wasps as well. Wasps are a major pollinators, right? Again, another insect that's widely disliked, but actually crucial for our environment. Without these creatures, we would be without apples, cranberries, melons, almonds, broccoli, blueberries, cherries. I mean, the list goes on and on. We'd even be without ice cream because alfalfa that is fed to cows is pollinated by insects. So we'd be without many of the kind of staples of our lives, many of the luxuries of our lives. Curries would become a historical dish because cardamom would not be there. Cumin would not be there. Many spices, many of the things that make our diets kind of colorful, interesting, and nutritious would be stripped from our lives without insects. That's a really important thing to think about. And when we're thinking about pollinator declines, because many of the world's poor rely upon agriculture that's directly pollinated in their immediate surroundings. Without that, all of the nutrition is stripped from their diets.
Wow.
Malnutrition rates would start to climb. The UN has warned that this is going to become a food security issue, something that the world needs to focus on acutely. Once you kind of yank insects out of the base of the food chain, everything kind of starts toppling away from above them. Really, they're crucial in terms of just the basic foundations of forest and grassland ecosystems. Think about the placement of soil as a cycling of nitrogen through the soils that ensures that plants grow. We may hate mosquitoes, but you know I did. They almost killed me. But they provide a huge amount of food to frogs and then also to birds. Once you start climbing up the food chain, you start affecting things that really do value. So as well as these declines that have been documented in insects, bird numbers have been reported to be down in several countries.
Yeah.
Birds that eat are faring far worse than the birds that are omnivorous, such as crows, for example. They provide a really important base to the food pyramid, and they provide a really crucial part of our overall environment. I'm a very big fan of caterpillars that can generate their own antifreeze to ward off the cold. That seems like an incredible ability to me. That's the water beetle that, once it's eaten by the frog, can actually escape from the frog's rear end, to actually escape by being eaten by the frog. Even insects that we revile are extremely impressive when you think about them objectively. Cockroaches can last 2 weeks after being beheaded. They can run incredible speeds. Yeah. They can survive huge amounts of poison and radiation even. Bees themselves are just incredible creatures, just in terms of their logistical work, their ability to organize socially. Honeybees can understand the concept of zero and add and subtract numbers. You have bumblebees that researchers have found can play soccer. They can learn to play soccer with food rewards. This is weird. And there are bees that can take landmines as well. There's all kind of incredible things that they can do with their minds for such small creatures.
For such small creatures, right?
And the more you learn about, I think, the more you're enamored by them, and the warmer you feel by insects.
Can you share the link?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to drop it in a few.
Okay.
And you discover how incredible they really are. When we think about habitat loss, we think about the idea of the Amazon rainforest being burned down or chopped down. But a lot of the habitat loss is far more mundane. It's the conversion of a barren piece of land, or seemingly barren piece of land, into a Starbucks. It's the conversion of a field where wildflowers will grow into a field of soy or corn or another single crop. It's largely driven by agriculture. Some of it is also driven by urban sprawl. These are the laying down of highways, heavy industry, and so on. So it's obvious a model that's exploded in Europe and in North America, and that model is being transported elsewhere. You're seeing other countries adopt this method of farming large fields of single crops, dousing them with insecticides and other chemicals in order to boost their yields. So a lot of what we consider unproductive grounds, land, the kind of stuff the place is filled with wildflowers and with scrub, with kind of brambles and weeds, We call them weeds when they're in fact actually really important food providers for the insects. Yeah. Gotta bring this over and drop that link. Yeah. And really and truly, we lost the connection because we're killing their world, which is going to kill our world.
Exactly.
Freedom because of, get away, makes you really appreciate, not want to knock down that wasp nest that's growing up under your eaves on the house. Like
until one sting you, then you burn it down. But
exactly.
as you was reading that, something that just came into my mind, and I know it's sort of like we're going to kill some of us to kill some of them, but it almost feels like they're manipulating the bee population, the insect population, for their own end game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Others for food where
yeah,
certain areas where bees are allowed to fly or limited or whatever, and we don't have that, and they're pulling that rug, that invisible rug from under our feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even so, using pesticides or whatever you just called it, to pollinate, artificially pollinate the food, which in turn is going to damage us because we're not getting the natural pollination from plant to plant, from plant to flower, from flower to, whatever it is, herbs, that we need. You know what I mean? To fruit trees. Right. So they're doing it in a, in a way that's harmful to us.
Right.
For their own end.
Exactly.
That's what came into my mind.
Yeah, the control thing. It's a long-term way,
Yeah.
Oh, they're not firing bullets at us, whatever, but they're taking the food away eventually.
Yeah.
And so now we have to think about ways to combat that and preserve these bees.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
We have to start our own. I don't know I forgot what the terminology when you're a beekeeper, but we have to be our own beekeepers.
Exactly. Encourage that.
Yeah.
And now for me, I'm going to consider that like somehow, some way to have that near me. I ain't messing with no bees, right? I'll have them in a certain corner of my yard or something way down there somewhere.
Yeah, controlled. Yeah.
Because
get your own honey.
Before Orlando, there was a guy across the street that had just moved, and he was a beekeeper. Straight in his yard, he knew how to do that. That's what he did. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was strange. Not strange because that's nature, but it's like you don't really always run into a young black man who is a beekeeper. Like that was his hobby.
That's
true.
But
he made money somehow, some way with it. Like, and he had the suits and different things, and it was all over him.
Oh yeah, nature attacked the creatures. Yeah, Amir. Yeah.
Just telling you what was happening with this world. So it may not completely happen in our lifetimes, but we've seen a decline already now. It's going to get worse. It's going to stress things. We're not going to see that end result probably in our lifetime. That's something but that's to show you how these entities, there's something responsible for it, and it's not a natural thing. You don't have something around for millions of years, and in the last 4 years, you see this extreme decline. It's something
something's going. Yeah.
What we do as far as our practices.
Yeah. It's just like fish in the ocean. Why are we seeing, schools and schools and schools of fish just floating, floating? Listen, when we think that, hold on. Okay, no, I had to make sure,
Right.
When we think that the Star, quote unquote, Star Wars is happening in the heavens.
No, it's right here.
A lot of it is happening under the ocean. A lot of it is happening deep under the oceon.
75% of the earth is covered in water. So this that we're on, there's so much going on. There are caves under there. There are mountains under there. You just don't see because it's covered in water. Like when you're in the Caribbean, I always thought like, You know, you have this guy, oh, I'm from Jamaica. Yeah, I'm from Trinidad. I'm from,
We're all from
if
Africa.
you suck all the water down, it's going to be all one thing.
It's all going to be Africa.
Exactly. Well, you don't want to suck water away, you know. Africa. No, you don't want that. You want that water there.
It's like the ocean floor is a part of us. It's a part of everything. The ocean floor is just that. We've just moved. Basically, each country, each continent, each island, we're furniture. We're furniture on the ocean floor, and we can bring all the furniture together and they will all the pieces, except for a little erosion over time, all the pieces fit back together perfectly. You know? So you're right. They're manipulating the insects, and they're also manipulating ocean life. Yes, there's a lot of over farming, you know, when people go trawl fishing and they're just greed. Once again, greed is responsible for the lack of things that we have right now, because fish, wildlife, animals, whatever, are not able to procreate and you know, build up back their population naturally. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time you see fish start spawning, they can't get a chance to grow to full maturity before they get caught up in fishing nets, or they're being overfished, and then they're being sold as delicacies. You know, baby fish is being sold as a delicacy where it's not being allowed to grow properly. And then they turn around and they want to build fishing farms so they can give you shit to eat, because then they can feed the fish whatever the hell they want to feed it in the farm, and then turn around and give it back to you.
Wow.
Something to kill you. But something to make you sick.
Vicious species that are present on this earth, and not all of us, but it could be most of us who follow through with what we consider to be normalcy as far as the practices, that we don't consider what is happening to the earth. That in the last 40 years, we can impact insects and all other animals in the whole food chain that's going to eventually come back and hurt us. Like we must be like so destructive, but we don't realize it. We think that we run everything, that we're not part of something that we need to preserve, not only each other, but preserve all of the systems around us, and we think that we can live without it.
Yeah.
That mentality is not from this world.
It can't be.
Follow through with the seduction of thinking that, yes, this is normalcy, we live this way. We dump all of the synthetic things into the water.
Yeah.
And we see the dead fish. We do all these things, we cut down. It actually, at this point, for me, even here in the motherland, when you see like trees being cut down just to build something. Now, there's so much land out here that is not like America. Now, in the city, yes, things are like pretty much tight. You understand? But it's surrounded by so much on the rest of the continent that it really isn't a factor right now, but it will be. You understand?
Right.
But then again, now, what we learned before was that the fallacy of this overpopulation thing, like that's a fallacy.
It is.
Like I said, I found out that you can take all the people in the world, the entire amount of people on the planet, and put them in the motherland, and you'd still have so much room that you wouldn't even see each other right away. Everybody would have so many acres, and that's just the motherland. So that's something being pushed to also validate the concept of population control.
Control, exactly.
The word is control. But who wants to control? We still have way more. You can double the amount of people on the earth and you'll be all right. So why are they seeing this? See? And of course, the whole vegan, vegetarian meat thing, that it takes so much crops to feed a cow. And, you know, if we went vegan, we wouldn't have to go or just vegetarian or whatever. Yeah, we understand that. But there's far more things going on than just that. And how is it with all this technological advancement that things like this are suffering?
I don't understand it.
There's no man-made system that can sustain what nature has put in place.
Exactly.
And that's the fact.
Exactly.
You know? And it's just amazing to me how we don't see it. We are the people who are supposed to be connected to nature. We're the people who are supposed to be intuitive.
Blinded by fast food.
When I go to nature, and just sit there. I want to fall asleep. So relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a vacation. It's just like go up there with it. So every day when I'm up there, living there, and move from that. Huh? Say it again.
I said, don't make us jealous.
No, but I'm saying, well, hey, it's like you got an uncle in the business. Like, yeah, send me some video. I'm talking to this person. Show me this. I'm here. I can't do everything, but I mean, I'll help out when I can. But that's the thing. Find the reality you want.
Yeah.
I was tired of driving the bus, and you come to a red light and see a little park. You see a little man sitting there with his wife or something like that, or whatever. I'm like, look at that. You hear bam, 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 bam.
I know, jar you out of your little dream state.
You say, I want to be there. Why I gotta be here? Well, we know we gotta make money, but why can't I go somewhere where money is not so demanding?
Right.
Why don't we be here with the taxes high and the rents or mortgage or whatever?
That's crazy. Right.
And even still, what makes you feel powerless is that you have your mortgage with a certain mortgage company. Then you get a letter saying, well, they will be taking over your mortgage. Like, you're just playing Saluji with my life.
But I mean, I don't know how this works, but I've heard it on so many numerous times as far as these mortgage takeover companies and these people selling the mortgages. I mean, technically speaking, once the mortgage company, and if I'm wrong, I know there are real estate people up in here that can tell me I'm wrong, but technically speaking, right? You sign a contract with XYZ mortgage company, right? To they give you the money, you pay them back, because they're at a loss because they've given you money to buy this property. Yes, the property is equity for them if you default, right? However, when they sell that mortgage, they don't sell it and say, "Okay, I'm only selling it to you for the amount that I've gotten from the homeowner to this point." They're selling it for the entire amount, right? That the property of the money that they gave to you. Technically, this is what I was told and I've heard. Once they sell that bloody mortgage, you're no longer beholden to anybody. Because they've gotten paid. I mean, like I said, there is a technicality to it, and you have to show proof of certain things. But if you have all your ducks in a row and they slip up, like they didn't do all of their thing right, you can actually say, I no longer owe any money on this property.
Wow.
So every time they sell your note, if you really want to, you can go back and say, wait a minute, let me challenge this. If you're up to it, you can challenge it. And somewhere along the way, somebody is going to screw up, not do all of this, the checks and balances, and you can get out of that mortgage. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. But we don't know these things. So every time they send you a letter in the mail and they go, we've sold your, how many times this house, this mortgage has been sold? Some of these mortgage company, you're like, what the hell is this?
Right. And you feel like a pass around. It's
yes.
Like, I have a say so to know. You're just telling me after the fact. You're deciding my fate, and I have no idea. I'm here laying in the bed. I get a letter. Yes, you have been gangbanged last night when you were under the influence. So, it's like somebody just raping you.
Right. See what Sister Miko said? Somebody did that with their student loans because the student loan got sold, and the paperwork that she signed off with Sally Mae. Sally Mae sold it to whomever, Navient, which is basically an extension. Oh, wow. But the thing is that if Navient don't have all of their paperwork correct, and they don't have anything, they don't have nothing, no contract between me and them saying that, or whomever saying that, yeah, I owe you the money. Yeah, I owe them the money. They can go to hell.
That's right. Well, let me move on to the next story.
Real quick, yes.
Yeah.
This one is sad.
Yeah. And there's a couple words of songs that this rapper created. I have no clue. I will drop the link in there soon after I finish reading it. It says South African rapper Riky has died, age 34. Rapper Riky real name Ricardo Makadu, has died. He was 34 years old. The rapper's family confirmed he died early on Wednesday in a statement sent to Shisha Live. They asked for privacy and prayers. The family of South African artist Riky Rick, with profound sadness this afternoon, confirmed his untimely passing. Son, husband, father, brother, and uncle. Riky Makadu, 34, sadly passed away in the early hours of this morning. And this is like from February 23rd, 2 days ago in Johannesburg. There's a reason I said this story. Riky Rick burst into mainstream fame with his platinum certified Family Values in 2015 after making a name for himself and asserting his influence in South African hip hop culture for several years behind the scenes. He gifted the world with hit songs, including, don't even try to make me pronounce this, Amantambazine, Boss Zanke, Sid Lucatini. I think I said the last one better, right? Don't even, I know I said it wrong. South African folks laugh at me because, you know, I understand.
We're not being disrespectful. It's
Yeah.
more than we're accustomed to.
I ain't gonna lie. When I dropped the link, that first song sounds like some kind of chemical. I'm not gonna. It does. Yeah. And it says, the rapper's brand became synonymous with fashion because of his style and love for fine clothes and culture. He became an icon for all the cool kids and a light for upcoming artists who he embraced publicly. One of his greatest achievements, in addition to his music legacy, is the establishment of Cotton Festival, which was due to make a comeback in 2022 after taking a break thanks to COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, the rapper opened up about his struggle with depression after his father died. The star, who took a break from live performances a few years ago to deal with depression, told listeners of his podcast series, Lab Live, that he suffered from chronic depression and was on a destructive path after losing his dad. I lost my father at a time when I needed the help. I lost him at a time when I needed that voice. A lot of people don't understand that you can never replace the voice of a father. It wasn't like he just died. It was like 18 years living with your dad for a year and then going back to your mom. I love being with my mom, but living with him for a year, a child is never meant to live without his parents.
Right.
Riky is survived by his wife, Bianca.
And look what he did.
2 children. Yeah. Fans flocked to his social media, hoping the news was fake.
Listen,
They responded to his last tweet, which reads, "I'll return a stronger man. This land is still my home." Comments accumulated at a speed as people hoped that this was not his last words. Heartbroken fans all over Zanzi have taken to their TLs to express whatever TL is, right? It's probably a different to express the shock and sadness at the rapper's untimely passing. And you see all these different tweets and stuff like that.
Now, it's sad and it's selfish at the same time.
Of course.
You know, because he just said that he's been suffering with depression from losing his father. His father that he had for 18, 20 years of his life.
But he's going to continue now this process with his children now because he's and you know, like
and
I
they're
said,
babies.
Exactly, and they'll never know him. They'll only see him through his work. But what I'm saying is that from what I'm hearing, that depression thing is so severe. Like for some, it can be looked at as selfish, but for others, it's like, imagine somebody taking a sword. You're laying down on the bed or laying on the floor or something, and you don't even know. You're reading a book, you kick back, and they take the sword and drive it straight through your leg. That moment, you might be, if you're holding a baby.
You're going to drop the baby.
Now, somebody would say, if they taken the baby to the ambulance or whatever, what happened? They don't tell the sword part, but they say, mother dropped the baby. Oh, what a terrible she is. You know the circumstances. So one person's depression, maybe another person's like low feel. But the next person's depression may be like everything gone. And I think also too that with each person, there are different factors going on with them biochemically, the mindset, the time. Okay, he's a superstar. He's a guy who's known for his music and fashion. And even he had to take downtime. So how is it that he We're so drained.
That's true.
I mean, even if you have your family and your father, your mother, and you're a person who's a celebrity, you still get drained. Like, yo, I was ready to let things go in December. I was so drained. I just do YouTube. Out there, you got to fly. People tell you what you got to do, but people forget when you're a celebrity, when you're a star, when you're an artist and you're performing.
Right.
Your brand haunts you. Your brand takes over your life. What you've created, and you got other people to help perpetuate out there as far as imagery. You think he's doing all his fashion? You think with a person who's in a talk show that they decide, listen, when I worked at Crossing Over with John Edwards, and I was security, but I was a receptionist, they didn't know I was security. And the producers of that show would argue and fight, not physically fight, over the last little detail. No, you can't have John out there wearing that with the fur. No, nothing animal or no leather, nothing. Why? Well, because there's an animal rights group coming to the city. And if one of them happens to come here, they're going to show, and it's going to be bad for the brand. But you got to watch the word. Watch the word. He usually say this word or something, and it would be very insulting to this community or that community.
Right.
And then before social media really took off like that, no, it wasn't around really, because that was 2001.
Right.
Black Planet, Hello things. It wasn't like this. It wasn't a household name, but they were still careful. Could you imagine now?
Oh yeah.
So your brand that has your name, you would think, wow, he's a star and he's making money and he has a brand, but that brand chokes you. Okay, the example I always use, use something we know. You know, there's a white man, Anderson Cooper. Do you think that he said, well, I just want to apply for a job to come here and, just do the news and that's it? No, he had to sign in blood, whether he did or not. I'm saying this symbolically. Because CNN has invested for many. When did Anderson Cooper come around? Homeboy been up there for a long time.
Yeah.
You really think about it. I'll find the facts on it. But when was he introduced? This is Anderson. He has been with CNN for so long, but guess what? This is what we don't understand. We take the remote and cut the TV on, or we'll look at something on the internet, social media, and get a clip. Anderson Cooper can't really have a life. If you think you want to be famous like him and travel, because if they call him and say, Anderson, we know that we gave you part of the day off for a few hours before you come on in, but in 3 hours, there's a flight for you. There's a car on its way. You have to go to China. What do you think? Oh, man, I can't do that. No, get somebody. No, he is the face of CNN, one of the faces. And you got Don Lemon, you got whoever else, but he is the face that they put on the billboards, that they put on the ads. They have humanized a whole network down to one face, a face that you can trust. He gets high. He's gay. He's like, he can't even say, well, I'm giving a blowjob to my lover right now. I can't do. No.
Jesus.
No. You better be here. Okay, there's an earthquake in Haiti. You better be down there.
That's right.
Hold up the little black kid that looks like he has somebody else's blood on it, but it looks like he was shot, and run across this safe place to make it dramatic.
That's right. They
wouldn't risk him out there. There are gunshots. And they turn the gain, so it sounds louder, but it's way 3 blocks away around the corner. Could be a remote mic they left on the building to get those gunshots. Across there. Look, how many times have we seen a person out on the beach or near the beach on the boardwalk when there's a hurricane coming in? It's not at full blast yet. And this person is fighting the wind. There's a little wind going across their little top because they wear the tops that show the waves of the wind to make it more dramatic.
Right.
Acting like, and somebody else walks by in the back behind them.
Oh, he's been with CNN since 2001.
God, dog. That's what I'm saying. 21 years. That's a lot of money invested. He has got to live a pristine life. Anderson Cooper can't be fighting nobody in the bar. He can't have little gay lover fights and whatnot. No, he can't do that. He can't punch nobody in the face because CNN's going to get sued. Big time.
Right.
I see him, I'm going to provoke him. I'm going to call him all kind of names. Hopefully he hit me and I fall down. No, I'm just playing.
You're a mess.
Right. But what I'm saying is that they own you. They've invested so much in you. So you see a brother like this who he may not have the Anderson Cooper, like, I mean, for many of us, this is the first time we're hearing of him, but your brand that you create and people working along with you to do the best thing for the brand because they're eating off of the brand, you have to jump for what the brand demands. They will tell you some things that you need to say, like, okay, say, for example, you have a concert and something happened, and one of the people who are over the image of you say, you know, you need to mention so-and-so. You're like, who the hell is that? Well, I'm going to tell you about it, but you need to mention this because this would win your fans over more and win new fans. So if you're being marketed as a conscious person, so they feed stuff. So you think it's him, and it may be him. But it's part of the brand. And the brand is not them most of the time. And it's an extension of them. So then now you lose your father. We don't know his chemical makeup. We don't know if he was taking medication to combat depression. We don't know, you know, the deep, because we have relationships, but we compare our relationship to other people's relationships, and there's no rules to any one type of relationship. Is there a book on fathering, on you must do this? Most wing it, but we know what to do. So and this is something that was pre-existing. And yes, it looks selfish, and it could be. You know, I mean, who knows what these people are going through? They're people normal and happy looking, and they go home and put a bullet in their head, and you're like, what happened?
What happened? Yeah. The reason why I said it was selfish is simply because of his statement. You know, he's hurting because he didn't have his father. You know, he lost his father. You know, but the hurt was so deep. And once again, we don't know chemical imbalance and all the things that you just mentioned. You know, also, if he was suffering from depression and he was given any kind of medication, and we know a lot of these antidepressants, they make you suicidal, you know, because some of these medications, the majority of these medications, we know do more harm for you than good. You know, so who's to say that, once again, like you said, a chemical imbalance could have been brought on by medication that he was taking that just put him in a darker space than, you know, just trying to deal with it on your own would have done, you know, because I'm not TMI, and I've already said this. There was, you know, one time in my life, one time, I thought to myself, what would it matter if I wasn't here? Because I was going through some things, and I was just so hurt. That's the thought that came into my mind. Like, what would it matter if I wasn't here? Right?
That's right.
But then I thought about my kids, and I had babies. I mean, literally had babies. I had a baby, you know, and it was like, well, that would matter. They would matter. So that thought quickly, you know, went out of my head. It's like, you know, you shake yourself back to reality. But you know, a lot of us have had those thoughts. A lot of us not saying, okay, I'm gonna go do X, because it never crossed my mind that I'm gonna do something. But it just crossed my mind, you know, was I that relevant? You know, but you because you value yourself according to certain circumstances that you might find yourself in. And you have to learn not to do that. You have to learn that you value yourself because of who you are, period. Not because of who you're associated with, not because of who you're around, or not because of who might tell you that you're valuable. People could tell you you're valuable till the cows come home. They can change their mind tomorrow morning and say you're no longer valuable.
Not reality. You know what I used to struggle with? As a person who, not that it means that you're weak if you want to do something to yourself. It's just what it is. But I've always been like the quiet aggressor. Like, I used to struggle, and I'm not being funny saying this. I had strong urges to just punch people in their face. No, I'm not even being funny. And I'm thinking, like, this person's harassing me. Don't they know I can knock them out right now? Really their face, like, and not even mean. Just look at them as they're just violating. You know, I really, I can do this. You know, now maybe it might land me somewhere I don't want to be, but for that moment, and it's gotten in fights or something like that, that it came from that urge, or worse, when somebody comes at me.
Right.
Oh, you give me permission to do so.
Right.
But I wish there was a day when they said we will overlook anybody who assaults anybody for any reasonable reason.
A purge day.
Yeah. There's some people that I would just like, even for past transgressions, just walk up to them. Hey, Lance. They think we cool now because years went by. Hey, what's going on, man? I mean, like, not even just like some arm punch. Where you squat down, get your hips in it, you get up close on them, and you pivot your hip and throw all the weight and just knock them out where they just drop. There's a twisted side of me that when a person does me wrong, I would derive pleasure from that. Not no sexual pleasure. But be satisfied. Maybe that's like a normal thing amplified, but that's how I express myself. If you know, and when somebody tries something on me, it's like, okay, good. You give me some kind of aggressive orgasm style. You know,
right.
Hit me.
I think I was also suffering from postpartum depression too, you know, because like I said, I had two small babies and one was brand new. So, you know, I know that there was a lot of, you know, things off, but, you know, you don't think of, you know, doing something, but you just think of.
Yeah. And you're here. Yeah. And you didn't have to fall into that, you know. But right at this particular moment, I'm going to probably wrap it down because I got to get out of here. And I'm so sweaty. I got to take another shower.
Oh, wow.
Quick. Okay. You know, definitely for sure. 95% sure between several people that have promised to come on. I don't know exactly the time I left that open. And might be some really good humdingers later on. I know I have to record something. I'll put it out there. We have to record something for Brother Ross, and I wanted to do it not in a live show that can have a power outage or have some buffering. I want to record that. His wife may submit some pictures, and she's going to come on to in the recording and really give him an internet, you know,
send off.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, Brother Dave and I spoke, and I said, let's make it, because he was going to have it during a show that we do. And I said, let's not do it that way. Not that I know more than you, but we don't want to have anything else attached to that. We want it to be its own thing.
Right.
We don't want to be dated by, the Ukraine war and Russia and do that first. No, this is too important to just make it something to attach to somebody else. So I said, let's make it where, I mean, but certain factors are removed. Power outage happens and I got to call you, and we were going good. And the people were watching it live. This is something
right.
You can absorb and walk away with.
Okay.
And again, it's not my input. I said, well, listen, you tell me the way you want me to do the graphics, whatever photos, you know, if there's something in there on the audio you want to change or cut out, whatever. We're going to present nice. But then we're also going to do a live show, which, you know, can fall under those different things, those different factors, but it's best when done live. So, you know, I'll leave that open. And it too, you know, Brother Blue Star and Brother Dave. So the evening's going to be full. If one of them cancels out, which is okay, it'll still work out. And I still got to upload and do, you know, but I have to get out of here. When I come back, I'm just going to get right back to work, you know, because I'm here. When I'm going up the show, doesn't mean I'm not working. I'm still going to bring my cameras with me. If I find something out in the street, come on back. But I have a lot of computer time to do when I come in, even regardless of the shows, you know. So I'm going to wrap it down right now. It was going up pretty good. So I said, let's go and, you know, do our thing.
All righty. You know? Well, I think we don't need to do any wrap down because we've.
I want to say, like, even when I made this banner, it's just so nice. Even though one was a tragedy, and we're speaking about one with, you know, the insects and stuff. It's nice to see, like, what the mainstream media is not. Now, this was in the media that's out there, but it didn't get the attention of somebody else who they deemed to be in the Illuminati and famous, whatever. It's nice to see black faces that if I didn't even have the names on it or anything that you say, well, who are these people if you don't know them?
Right.
Like not just the like Jay-Z and Beyonce and whatever, but let's start talking about other things that we don't know, good and bad, but situations like that. It's a big world here. We can't be so corralled into one thing. We're controlled that way.
Exactly.
So that's why I hear and see the things that people, and sometimes I will do a mainstream kind of like, let's talk about it. If I can see an angle that everybody else is not talking about. You see what I mean?
Exactly. Oh yeah, I know.
Because even Ricky Rick, I mean, many people didn't even know. I didn't know him. Sharice sent me a link, and I wanted to talk about other things with that. But since I have to go, and I'll touch on it another time. But not only depression, but there were other articles that I saw that, and not to say Illuminati, but the music industry, even there in South Africa, and he was so big and so popular. Understand this: you in America, you think it's just about America. Look at him, who was so famous and even famous worldwide, but it never got past the radar here. But you can have success on so many different levels, and it doesn't just have to be American based. There are people here. They got Ghanaian stars, y'all. Look at the Nigerian movies.
I know.
Those movies are like glue. When I started, I can't stop. It resonates with me. The Nigerian movies, just look it up. The modern ones, the modern, you know, and it's like, wow. And I really enjoy it. I see myself in it. I can relate to it. So we got to find a level where we want to be, where we get the maximum enjoyment, and not just enjoyment, but connectedness, and be alive, vibrate on the highest levels of being alive. No more of this reduced something and feeling like we're worldwide global people, and we should not feel like an outsider anywhere on this planet. No matter what the systems are there, you need to walk like this. If you're not walking like this,
you
know about the country. You may not want to go live there, but you got to know you have a right to go anywhere in this planet. You're gonna let these of the population of the world dictate to you, and you leave America and come to the motherland and call yourself a minority. You a minority out here? You're not even a minority there.
You're not a minority anywhere. That's why you should want to go to Iceland. That's why you should want to go to, represent. That's right. That's right.
That's what I want to do. You understand? Hey, you could be a straight person who's heterosexual, and somebody put you in the middle of the gay club.
That don't make you gay.
Now? No. Exactly. You are who you are, no matter where you are. So even still, I have no interest in the European countries. What I'm saying is that if there's something worthwhile that I'm doing and I'm summoned to go there, because those days are coming, then I'll go. Don't mean I'm living there, but I would go for it, because this planet is my planet.
That's right.
Anywhere aside from man's laws, which they may try to stop you here and there, we understand how they do. But other than that, in your mind, everywhere is home.
That's right.
Home. Because we're melanated people of the universe. The sun is so far away, and it affects you. So you mean you're not part of the universe? You think you just I'm from Compton.
And that's something that we have to really revisit too. You know how far this sun is.
In Orlando. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cabrini Green, when it was around in St. Louis. They put our minds to think about our hood. This is my galaxy. This is my universe. They had the people there, God, what's their name? That told about the constellations and the stars. And
yeah. Oh gosh.
And said things that when the white man went and researched and looked with his telescope, it's like, man,
oh my gosh. Yes. As soon as you said it, the name went out of my head.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that being said, how are we going to be reminded of something so vast? You see the pyramids in Egypt, you see the pyramids in Mexico, you see the pyramids all over the planet. They don't want to tell you about. It's a planetary thing. And those pyramids are positioned a certain way in relation to each other. They talk to each other.
They do.
Do they have a GPS?
No, there's some hook up to the Pleiades.
It's big, the Dogons. That's who they are.
The Dogons, right.
How they know about what's going on all the way out in space?
Exactly.
If you think of it from the conventional European mindset, where you have to have this technology. How did they do it? What they had is better because we have a direct connection. You understand?
Maybe because the earth ain't what people are trying to force us to believe it is.
Exactly.
So it's not hard to be able to read the heavens, because the heavens are closer than what we
we
think.
connected to the heavens. We
Yes.
are the heavens.
Yes.
You see what I
Yes.
mean? We're in the heavens. We think, okay, we watch these science fiction programs and outer space. It's always something far away. But guess
Try
what?
inner space. Yeah.
We are far away from something else that's way out there, right? So we're the aliens. We're the outer space things from whatever. It's all relative, but we're connected to it. How else can my old girlfriend's developmentally delayed brother call out family members that he never knew because they died before his mother was even a teenager?
Yes.
And she never mentioned them. And he's pulling it out of the air. Who is so and so? Who is Auntie B? Who is this? Who is this guy? You know, this whatever. She's like, what? And he is called retarded by most people. But the politically correct term is developmentally delayed. And he's pulling these names out like that. So if you're what they would say damage on one side, you're amplified on another. But we doesn't fit under what the European says in school. You didn't pass this test, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. But your brain is a supercomputer. But it may not come to this world the way that it should go. Right. You think it should go. You didn't go to this university. You didn't go to that university. I'm not knocking it. Like I said, if you want to be an architect, you're going to have to learn architecture the way they do it in their system. I understand that. I'm not mad at that. But usually the gifts that you have are so far above any limited schooling. When you have an instinct for something,
you got to get connected to spirit.
Intuition that you can develop connectedness. The electricity have to go to school to learn how to travel to the wire. It just had to be what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the two goats out there in the wild? Well, let's read.
Amir is still here.
Right? Let's read the goat style book. No, it's natural. You know, I mean, I never looked at no goat ass and said, that goat ass look good. But goats do. Just being funny on that note.
On that note. On that note.
Goatee style.
Everybody. Thank you, everyone. That I know a couple of people just came in late, but hey, it's a good show. Go back and listen. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Brother Lance. Sir.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Yes, indeed. Yes. All righty, guys. Take care.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Peace out. We'll be back later on. Can't tell you what time, but there'll be more stuff coming for sure.
Thanks, everybody. I'm not ignoring anybody, but I got to run, play a few more songs. I got to bounce, but we'll be back later on. Thank you for being here. I enjoyed myself as always, and I love all of you. You know that.
I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Can't be a real nigga, might get you canceled. Fuck the whole system, need the shit dismantled. Coppers treat a nigga like the utmost wanted. Trying to rule the block, but don't know what goes on it. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my blood burn. 95 degrees and I can't get sunburned. Wonder when your government will make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my dick, please, Brad, I earned that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the crackers trying to gentrify the genre. Tell them free my niggas, middle finger to your honor. In the days coming down the seconds on the timer. Goofy niggas still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy a chopper, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my dick heavy. But ain't shit sweet, niggas think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes, slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.